Welcome. You have now tuned in to the Blackout and Shout podcast with your host, Mike Kincaid.
Can I tell you that Baby Yoda just annoys the shit out of me?
That's because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda, so huge. Levy Curry.
Some people do all sorts of crazy stuff, like dinosaur romance novels. Those are really a thing. Taken by the T-Rex. A billionaire dinosaur forced me. Ravaged by the raptors.
I wonder if there's audiobooks of them.
And Jed Vargo.
He was always like well known for wearing the Nazi outfit on.
Captain Kangaroo?
Captain Kangaroo.
Didn't he have the...
No. And not dressed up as a Nazi either.
So sit back. Mike, are you... Listen to me. Relax. Say, transform and roll out. And enjoy the show. I don't even know what the fuck episode this is. That's how fucking far back I am. I think it's 147? Is that what we're in? 146?
147. I believe it is 147.
146.
Oh, it's 146?
Yeah, it's 146.
Oh, all right.
46. Yeah. 146th episode of the Blackout and Shout show. Tonight's going to be a very special episode because my brain was not working correctly, and I decided to update my computer in the middle of a thunderstorm last night. So we're going to be freeforming it. We're freestyling it in Levy's point of view. Right, Levy? Freestyle?
Sure.
As if this show could be any more unorganized, you know?
Well, I mean, we do have a structure. It's just, we always go on tangents. So, I mean, listen, if this show was organized and put together properly, it would be like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, right.
And we'd have like 3 listeners, and that's it.
If this show was organized and everything, we wouldn't have a show.
Right. It would be like the nightly news. It'd be like, and now the news with Levy Curry and Michael Kincaid. Here's Levy with the weather. Mike on sports. Mike on sports. So
sports section would just be go birds and then on to the weather.
Yeah, it's gonna rain. Go birds. Would you buy it? And that's it. And see, like I said, 20, maybe not even 20 minutes. Maybe 15. It would be. It would be like the length of an anime episode.
Can you imagine? We would do it. We would do it I would do it every week if we can get a 20-minute show in. I would do it every week.
At that point, I would just, I think I would just auto sample both of your voices and then do it like a text to speech thing and write the script out and just have it all typed out automatically. I'd have some AI bots just reading off your parts, and why even do the show at that point? We'll just let the bots do it, right?
Yep.
You can just send some pictures and they'll try to figure out what the hell it is, right? That'd probably be really funny.
Well, I'll start writing the code, Jed.
All right. Oh, I could even do deep fakes. We could make a video. Yeah. Be awesome. First fully AI video podcast.
I'm not really comfortable with letting you do deep fakes and giving you all creative range to do whatever you want.
You know what? You don't have to give me any type of permission. I'll just take it. Yo, Levy, I'll make us all women. I'll be there. Change the pitch on our voices.
All right, I'm down. I'm down.
Isn't that great?
Listen how quick he answered you.
I'm down.
Yeah, see? I knew that. Anyway, so speaking of Levy, to my digital diagonal, Mr. Levy Curry, everyone. Levy Curry.
Hi.
How are you doing today, Levy Curry? Today is actually Thursday, not Friday, so you're still awake. Surprising.
I wouldn't go that far, but no, it's been a very busy day for me. So
me too.
Been running around like a fiend after work.
Been a very busy past couple of days.
Yeah, I had to take Maisie to the vet after work today, and had to clean up after the dogs when I got home, and I had to.
Yeah, nobody cares, Mike. So how are you doing tonight? On my other direction, Michael Kincaid. How are you?
He's actually still trying for this 20-minute show. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Jed.
Hey,
how about you,
He's
Jed?
The one that said, I'm doing great. Levy said that he had to work early tomorrow, so let's just power through this shit. So what'd you get this week? Yeah, let's see what you get, Levy. Anything new?
No, I got none. Well, I got a new power supply for my PC.
Ooh, 1,000 watts.
So 850. No, it's the same wattage. That's just a better quality.
Corsair.
When I originally bought this, or when I originally bought the parts for my PC back in 2020, there was actually a power supply shortage. So I kind of just got what was available, which was like a Game Max power supply.
A Gay Max?
No, I said Game Max.
Oh, I thought you said Gay Max.
Yeah,
like, that's an odd name for a power supply.
That should include you in that. That's not what I said.
You get the max game. Do you get the max game from that power supply? That supply of power? Do it backwards. Max.
Keep it rolling.
Game.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah, sorry. Keep it on track. Right. 20-minute show. Got it.
Sure, why not? But yeah, so no, I decided that. Well, when we went down to Micro Center. Me and my friend. I built him a computer, and so we went down there to get his computer components. And while we were down there, while searching for power supplies, we found a really good deal on this one particular one. And so I was like, well, you know what, throw one in there for me too. So I grabbed one. It's good quality. It's So I won't go into the particulars, but yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a power supply. I mean, really, it's not, the sexiest PC component. It's not like a GPU or a CPU or nothing like that, but it's better quality than the one I currently have, and I just like having that security.
Very important part of the computer to need the power.
It is. The power supply is. If there is one component that I would tell you to never, ever, ever cheap out on, it's the power supply. Buy the best quality power supply you can find. Mm-hmm. So
because you'll just be replacing it in like a year.
Well, either that or bad power supplies could fry your system.
Yeah, so there's that too. Yeah,
they could be fire hazards. They can all sorts of problems with cheap Chinese knockoff power supplies and shit.
Yeah.
So make sure you aside from your GPU and your CPU, make sure you're spending money on that power supply. You want to make sure you're getting a good quality one. Look for 80+ gold efficiency rating.
Don't get that Jim Bao power supply. Get the Fans Toys power supply, right?
Exactly. You don't need the platinum gold, 80+ platinum gold or whatever, or 80+ platinum. Just 80+ gold is plenty sufficient, but definitely make sure you're getting it from you're getting a reputable brand like Gigabyte, Corsair.
Right. Don't buy it off AliExpress.
Don't.
Or Wish.
I said don't. No.
I was actually surprised with the power supply that I just got. That the cables are modular. I never had one like that before, where you can just
really? Yeah,
pop in and out whatever cables you needed, and that way you didn't have all those extra fucking cables just hanging there doing nothing.
Yep. Fully modular power supplies are the way to go.
Excellent.
So
any action figures or anything like that?
Nope. No, I did not.
Okay. You don't have to.
Well, I'm glad I have your permission.
Well, I mean, you don't have to feel bad about not having a share for the class. Did I
sound like I felt bad?
You did. You did sound a little sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A little sad tone to your voice where you're like, no.
Oh, okay.
I know I ask this all the time, but do you have any shout outs or plugs?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
All right. Mike, how about you?
I shout out to the shitbirds, man. We won both parts of a doubleheader this week, which is something that we haven't done in years.
I think the other teams threw the game.
Nah, they were there the whole time.
Were they? Must have been paid off. Must have been a bet somewhere. No,
we're actually better this year.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yep.
Less festivities, maybe. Is that more on point?
No, just like a couple better players. Couple better players, the same exact amount of festivities.
When we were playing Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday, Joe was telling us about how he was coaching, kids soccer, and they're like only 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, right?
Right.
And it's like none of them are good except like one kid. And you're like, it basically turns into like, just give the ball to that one kid.
So true.
Is that how the shit bars are? Like, there's like two good guys, but just give the ball to those two
bars.
shit birds, shit bards. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a batting lineup, so everybody kind of has to hit. So there's that.
Wow. You just kind of lean into the pitch and take the run.
What you get hit by a pitch and slow pitch, you're gonna get hit by a pitch. You got to sell it like Doran too. You got to like fall over, grabbing your arm and shit.
Oh, son of a bitch!
That's gonna leave.
I'm the emergency pitcher on that team. So, and every once in a while, like I'll pitch and I'll wear them glasses, like with the skull.
Nice,
hilarious.
Do they have a PA system at those games and stuff like that, or
no? They do not, but they have a little boombox that plays from the snack stand that you can kind of hear at least when you're in the infield. So,
do you ever have anybody play Wild Thing for you when you come out?
No, but Eye of the Tiger did come on one time when I went out to hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one. It doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Did you strike out?
No, I hit a single.
Nice.
I mean, you don't want to hit a single during Eye of the Tiger either. You want to crank one, but
take what you can get.
Better than grounding out to the pitcher during Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shout out to the fans of the Reflector Files. I got my pages got monetized in the last.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, I think you said that last time, right?
I said it last time. I can't remember if I said it, but anyways, that's just basically because there's a lot of people on there, like keeping the page active, which is cool. So big thank you to all those guys. For hauls, I got this week, last 2 weeks. I mean, oh shit, I'm choking on dinner. Hang on. So I got a couple of pops.
A couple. Oh, Funko Pops.
Yeah. I got the G.
Or were they given
G1 Megatron and G1 Optimus Prime. No, they were given to me as a gift. So here's how they get you. My boy Nort, he's a Transformer fan, but he's like a casual Transformer fan, and I don't believe he has a ton of Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe and Star Wars and all kinds of other stuff. He might have a few Transformers items around, but he's like a G.I. Joe fan. And they sold these lunch boxes with G.I. Joe on the old school lunch boxes, like you had in grade school and shit. G.I. Joe on one side, Transformers on the other, and it was big enough to fit 2 Funko Pops in there. And you bought one of them, and it had Duke or did it have Cobra? No, it had Cobra Commander and Optimus Prime in one of them, and then it had Megatron and Snake Eyes in the other. So if you were like a Transformer fan or a G.I. Joe fan, you had to get like both of them. So that's what he basically did. He wanted the Duke and the G.I. or Snake Eyes, and just had this Prime and Megatron in the box. So he just gave it to me last time I saw him. So I own Funko Pops now. First and last, Jed. First and last.
Didn't you? I thought you had a Bob Ross.
I did, but then when NECA came out with their Bob Ross, I either sold that one or I gave it to somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's how I do it. I know it's crazy to describe somebody like me as, set in my ways as far as what I do, but I stick to it most of the time.
I made a mistake the once in a bottle, and I was like,
Wait, what were you gonna buy? You broke up.
I was gonna buy a Funko Pop, and I decided not to.
Yeah, you chose wisely. I mean, listen, it's cool, and it's Prime and it's Megatron and whatever. I'll never own unless somebody gives me another one. I'm never gonna buy another one. But
it's like one of those things where it's like,
man.
It's like Dragon Ball Z. It's like nice to look at, but I really don't have to be involved in that.
Right? Yeah. Right.
It's too much work. Like, is it John? John collects Funko Pops, doesn't he, Levy?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, it'd be like a
Yule's the Funko Pop guy too, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Kyle collects a lot of pops too.
Does he? I know he has a couple, but I just thought he got he has like 5 Ahsoka, and like his favorite.
I think he has not Dragon. He has the Demon Slayer ones too, I think.
Yeah. Vanessa has a Starscream, so I guess technically we have 3 of them. But the funniest, my favorite Funko Pop thing is when I go to a toy convention and like every aisle you walk down has got like 2 or 3 pop dealers.
Yeah.
It's got to be awfully not intimidating, but I guess discouraging is more the word I'm looking for. Like you're a Funko guy and you are wheeling your shit in, Friday night or Saturday morning, and you wheel your shit right past 7 other booths that have all the exact same shit you do.
Well, that Funko is a lot more popular than what you think it would be, right? So there's a bigger
I'm not
fan
doubting
base.
that is. Yeah.
No, I mean, there's a bigger fan base of collectors or just casual people that buy those, but they're like super high in demand, scammable, type of things. Or, if you buy out the 10, I don't know, Megatrons or whatever in your local store, you can turn around and sell them like at twice the price online. And it's just like one of those weird things where you just you rush in there to your local GameStop or whatever, and you snarf up like all the whatever character is like rare, and then you basically turn around and scalp them online. But yeah, I remember it was the bots were what were the big things the bots were going after back when we were collecting the beginning of the G.I. Joe line. It was the Nintendo Switches, Funko Pops, the G.I. Joe stuff, and I forget there was another thing too. I think like sneakers and stuff, but that's a whole different world.
Yeah,
it started with sneakers.
Part of sneakers, yeah. But yeah, that was one of the big bot scavengers.
I could definitely see where they're super popular because you figure they do shit from like every goddamn franchise that you can imagine. So you would think from all those franchises fan bases that even if only like a small part of that fan base likes Pops, and you're getting that little bit from every fan base of every franchise, you can only imagine that there's a ton of fans of that shit.
Yeah.
And it's genius. It's a fucking giant, big, stupid giant head on his little body, and people are like, "Ooh, I gotta have it,"
They literally sold blank ones that you could draw on and shit, and people snarfed them all up.
No
shit. They were just completely blank. They advertised it as draw your own face. Nothing. And it was like they said they made money on that.
How many of those got ruined, do you think?
All of them. Maybe not all of them. There's probably some mega artistic people out there that got some of them, but I would imagine the greater majority of them are shit now.
Yeah.
Right.
Try to resell it on eBay for $1,200 or some shit. After you drew like a shit looking fucking face on it. And
I would think the whole key would be to not draw on them, because then it's like, hey, got any more of them blanks? And then I do. Yes, I do. I got like a trench coat and I got like a bunch of blank faces under the coat.
Did you see that whole Hasbro thing with the create your own figure, create your own? Was it Star Wars figure? I think it was.
When was that? Today?
No, it was like a week ago. I think.
Are we going?
I thought it was a Ghostbuster.
That's right. You're right. Ghostbusters. Thank you. I knew it was a franchise. Yeah, it was like make your own Ghostbuster. They'll do your face as the head sculpt. Mm-hmm. Someone posted like a parody of that. They said like scalpers cry out, no resale value.
Yeah. I wonder how close they would get it though.
Well, you can 3D print like as long as you do don't you remember like a few years ago I wanted everybody's heads. We were gonna make our own action figures.
Yeah. By the way, I was totally down with that.
And Levy's
but it would be weird if you just did me and you, though. It would be weird if it was just 2 of us.
Levy was like, no, they broke the mold when they made me. I don't want
Levy, just get one. Levy, just get one, and then you could throw it out. That way, me and Jed can get them.
But yeah, if you just do the photo mammography, I forget how you pronounce that.
Yeah,
photogrammetry.
Scanning.
Well, I guess
is that it? Photogrammetry? That's probably right.
I understand that the technology is out there, obviously, because all new action figures when they're like movie verse type stuff, they 9 out of 10 times are fucking dead ringers. Like I get that the technology is there. It just that must be an expensive thing to do. is what I'm getting at. Because if they're going to do that shit for every idiot that sends a face in, you can imagine like that's a lot of work, you know, for one figure, one unique figure.
You take the manual element out of it and you say, hey, you need to submit these photos, and then we'll just process it, you know, like one-offs.
Right. So you got it. So it's up to you to get the photos right. And if you don't, and your
it's like
figure comes out looking like Rocky Dennis, well, fuck you. It was your fault.
Right. It's like anything with like with Shapeways. Like you upload that model, and if you fuck it up, they're just gonna print it. No matter how fucked up it is. They're not like they'll check it to make sure it's okay before they print it, before they waste anything, you know. But yeah, it's up to you to make sure you have everything like watertight and you're not spending dollars on materials. But anyway, did you get did you see besides the Funko Pops, what else you get? Anything?
No, that was it. The only other two things, I don't have anything to plug because it's been band shit, and I've been getting a lot of t-shirt jobs, honestly. Like I got 4 t-shirt jobs going on right now. Like not for my own shit, just like, you know, doing 50 for this company and 50 for that company and 25 for this guy or whatever. So that's going pretty well, but it's taking up a little bit of extra time and then the band stuff going on. So I haven't really worked on anything new recently, but 2 things I got to mention. I just dusted my entire goddamn collection room right before, like over the last like 3 or 4 days. And I just finished like today, right before I came on. And I don't know if either one of you has ever dusted an entire collection room, but you don't realize no matter how clean looking your room is and organized your room is, how goddamn filthy it is until you start taking it apart shelf by shelf and dusting everything, man. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Isn't that like isn't that kind of like based on the amount of foot traffic you have, like, where you are in like your collection? Like if you're like in a way like I would think that like your basement, like you wouldn't have like a lot of traffic down there. You wouldn't be that dusty.
Well, there's not much traffic down there. Like I go down there from time to time when I get new stuff or if I'm showing somebody, you know, or whatever. But it's been down there for years. I mean, probably 7 or 8 years, maybe at this point, down in the current location.
Oh, so you haven't dusted in 8 years?
Well, I'm just saying that, like, you know, not necessarily clean the way that I just did. Like sometimes I'd reorganize shit, and if I move stuff, I would dust it because I'm moving it, so I may as well fucking clean it off while I'm doing it. But
you just made that island like 2 years ago. You did that island?
No, I added to it maybe 2 years ago, but I had the other. Yeah, when I moved that downstairs, I pretty much got them details right away, except for those last couple.
Light bulbs delivered in a day. Listen, we'll be proud.
The fuck are you listening to, Levy?
No, fucking ad. Fucking. I'm surprised you guys actually heard that with the noise cancellation on. But
I heard pretty
crystal clear. Yeah. You know, you just tried to play for us on the last episode. You should have let her read it, and when it came through, just fine. The only other thing I wanted to mention was that me and Vanessa went to the paranormal Cirque. Is that how you pronounce that word? CIRQUE? Cirque. Yeah. Anyways, we went to that shit.
Cirque du Soleil.
And that
Cirque du Soleil.
The paranormal one, and that shit was pretty dope, man. Be honest with you. And that was something I would have never thought of going to, but Vanessa was like, "Why don't we're not doing anything tomorrow night? Let's get tickets and go." So she grabbed tickets and we went, and it was awesome.
Cool.
It was like, you know, magic show, a bunch of acrobatic shit, but everybody was kind of dressed like zombies and vampires and chicks, you know.
So this was actually Cirque du Soleil, or was it like a different thing?
It was Paranormal Cirque.
Oh, that's what it's called, Paranormal Cirque?
That's what it was called, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they did it right at in the Lehigh Valley Mall parking lot. They were set up.
Oh, okay, cool.
And on our way in, you had to go through this little maze and shit like that, and people were dressed in costumes, like horror type costumes or whatever. And quite frankly, they all fucking sexually harassed everybody that went through.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck yeah, they did, man.
Nice.
I got petted a couple times, and Vanessa just got smacked in the ass by some chick on her way in there. Yeah. And then we went through and we got to the seats and I was like, yo, let's go back through the maze again.
Did anybody come like up to your seat, like, you know, and stand like right in front of you and start juggling and like start like gyrating their hips like right into your face?
No, she was trying to get seats that were closer. But we ended up, I mean, all the seats were close. They were all close, but like in the first couple rows, we were probably maybe like 10 rows back, maybe, and in a little bit. So we were safe from all the shenanigans.
Do you remember that one episode of The Simpsons where they went to see Cirque du Purée and one of the performers came right up to Homer's seat, like stands like on his arm, like on his armrests, and like he's juggling, but he's like doing hip gyrations like right in front of his face, and like he's got like big fucking bulge, and it's like going right into Homer's face.
I do not remember that. No, I do not.
Oh, that shit was funny. That's what made me think of that. That's why I asked if anybody did that to you.
Yeah, that's it.
Especially after you said they were sexually harassing everyone.
I will tell you this though, you'll laugh at this. So it was one of the final acts that they did. There was this dude came out that had this ginormous wheel. It was like a lever type thing, and it had like a hamster wheel cage type thing on one end and like a counterbalance on the other. And it was like hooked up by these two cables, and basically it spin around. Like he went inside the hamster wheel cage type thing. And when he would start going, the whole fucking thing would start going. And this goddamn thing had to be like 40 or 50 feet. Like it was big, and no safety nets or any of that shit. Like he was on his own up there, and he was inside the cage doing all this shit. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And then he got outside the cage. And if you could picture, as it was, the big thing was going around in a circle, he was running like at the exact right speed to stay on top as it was going around. If you can picture what I'm getting at. And then that wasn't good enough. Then he started doing like, he was jumping when it would get to the top. So it would kind of like catapult him up, and then he would jump, and then the wheel would keep going on its way back down, and he would like land on it. And then he started doing fucking jump ropes and shit when he was up there. And then we were laughing because I told Vanessa, like, man, I could definitely tell that I'm getting older, because maybe like halfway through this shit, I was looking at this dude and I'm like, yo, man, I'm entertained. Just get down before you fucking hurt yourself. It was like, you've gone above and beyond. You don't need to do any more of this silly shit. But it was pretty cool, man. The magic show was pretty intense too. But yeah, recommended if they ever make it to your town, wherever that might be. And 4 chicks that were dressed like vampires, they were fun to look at. But anyways, that's all I got from my 2 weeks since last time. What about you, Jed?
Let's see, the new graphics card that I got a 3080, so that's pretty profound.
On my recommendation.
On Levy's recommendation, I was going to get a 3080 Ti, but I did the benchmarking, you know, how fast is it versus, you know, how the price you're going to pay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that made a lot more sense.
Yeah, your performance per dollar is much better with the regular 3080.
I think it was like,
did you get a 10 gigabyte? Did you get a 10 gigabyte or 12 gigabyte model?
A 12 gigabyte. Now that you may ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a rebate on Newegg for the MSI 12 gig, which I think the 12 gig is just basically like a super. Like a version of the, you know, like the super version, like how they used to do that.
It's basically the same as the 3080, just 2 gigabytes more of VRAM. Yeah, that's really all it is.
Yeah. So they had a $50 rebate on Newegg, and then they have a $30 mail-in rate from MSI. So $80 off.
Can I ask how much you ended up paying for it?
Yeah, it was like $6.99.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
That's after the rebate, right?
That's
after the rebates.
That's after rebates. Yep.
Wow, that's a phenomenal price.
Yeah.
For a 12 gigabyte 3080.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah, man. Price shop. Right. Coupon. So I got that, and got that power supply with it, which was like $100.
Yeah.
But the cool part about it is that like I was doing some tests and like a normal like like art piece or something like that I do in CGI, like the one with the Lambos or the one with Tifa and stuff. Like those usually take, if I want to do like a 11 by 17, at 300 DPI, I forget what the resolution is like 5100 by 3300 or something like that. It would take about like 16 minutes or something like that to render that out. It takes 2 minutes now. I was just like, oh my god, it's like 2 minutes to render that like this. So what a huge step forward in like time wise that saves.
Yeah, that's the power of the 30 series.
Yeah, man. Then I popped over into Windows and I was testing out all the VR games and stuff with it. So cool. That was nice, being able to set everything on ultra and not have to worry about anything going wrong with it.
You want my recommendation?
Sure.
Turn it down to high settings, because quite often the difference in visual quality between high and ultra is negligible and is really hard for you to see visually, and all you end up doing is giving yourself a performance hit. So all of my games, I can run them at ultra, but I almost never run with ultra settings, except for like a few different settings and whatnot. I might run at ultra, but for the most part, most of my settings I run at high.
I'll have to test that out with VR rig that I have, because I have 4K display VR. So and there's 2 displays. So I think maybe running it, I'll have to test it though. But I know,
if you can see a difference, between high and ultra, then by all means go for it. But
definitely with Alex I did, because I was running that on high before the 1080 Ti. But with ultra, you definitely see the what's the word I'm looking for? Is the anti-alias motion?
You see where your money went.
Yeah. The detail, like you can like lean in and you can actually see the very fine detail of shit that's like on written paper or something like that. Whereas before it was like blurry and stuff.
Okay.
So you got that. And following.
Oh, and be sure to take advantage of your DLSS if you're running a game that supports DLSS. Definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, I was looking at the list of all the stuff that has ray tracing and DLSS, and I don't think any of them that I have actually do, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't think there's any VR games that support it yet, but
well, Elite and like X-Wing and all that stuff, those are all like you can play those outside of VR. So I was just kind of wondering. I'm surprised that they didn't do it, but I don't know. I'll have to check out some of those games that actually have it. Like Minecraft has it, for fuck's sake. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, actually, Minecraft with ray tracing on, that's really good. Like, fuck, cool. Man. I mean, it still looks like a blocky fucking Lego-y world, but I mean, like the actual reflections and the lighting and everything with ray tracing on just looks phenomenal.
I'm more like interested in like seeing what I do in Blender.
Yeah.
Like all the other apps that'll take advantage of that type of GPU system. So I got that. Blackout Instagram was also monetized 2 weeks ago, following in the Falls Reflect. So I've been so busy with everything, I don't even post anymore, and I was just like, I'm like, okay. I should probably get back to doing that.
Yeah, we need to see some profits here.
Levy wants his cut.
I'm expecting some royalties here.
So it's like one of those things where where even though you do make money on it, because if you guys you want to split the how much I pay every year for the Podbean hosting, we could we could talk about that. You want to talk about that?
Well, there you go, Jed. Tell Levy about his cut.
Let's see. Tell Levy about his cut. We've been doing this podcast for 5 years.
I don't know if we really need to shake the rock the boat here, shake things up. I mean, I don't think we really need to broke what's not, or fix what's not broke.
You got him stuttering and shit.
What's 5 times $35? What is that? What does that come out to be? We'll work that down first. Then we'll work the 175 down first, Levy. Then we'll see what kind of profit.
No, 175, 175. Yeah.
Wow.
So let's see. What was the other thing I was going to say?
Got quiet in here real quick.
Oh, the marketing and the guerrilla marketing that I ran last month has been paying off. I've been like you, busy with toys as well. It's been doing really well and getting a bunch of orders like literally like one day after the other. Cool. I got a six print order and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I was like, wow. I'm like, it's just it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, market. I'm like, oh, now I actually have to work doing it. So like, yeah, shit. But I started printing out all the artwork and stuff for the show for RetroCon. So I bought a bunch of extra paper and ink to do that.
You're getting started early.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have like 200 prints to print out, so gotta almost. I think it's at they're 186 or 196 or something like that. Number of prints that are up on the site. I scored another cheap ass Hot Toys on AmiAmi this morning. I think I got the Endgame Captain America Hot Toys.
Oh,
for 135.
Nice.
135. Yeah, it was a broken shield, Mjolnir, and all the. Yeah, man, like basically brand new. So that's kind of cool. I just had my other big shipment of that stuff from Japan get shipped, but I didn't get it yet, so nothing really to talk about there. And just shout out, plug to Hidden Toys. Go check out hiddentoys.net or Hidden Toys on Etsy, Instagram, Facebook, any other place that you think you might want to look for any type of superhero and robot art. Trying to think if there's anything else that was going on. I've been so consumed with like trying to fix my computer the past 2 days. I haven't really thought about anything else. But so let's move on. Yeah.
Sounds good. What do you want to? What would you like to talk about, Jed?
Well, let's see. Talk about some people that died, right? So I don't think we mentioned that Ray Liotta died, right?
Yeah.
That just happened. What, a couple days ago, right? Last week.
Yeah, was it this past week?
There you go. Yep. Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
No, that was really odd. I didn't realize he was 14 years old, like maybe in the 60s or something like that. I forget what his age was.
He was 67.
As you can tell, folks, there was no preparation done for this show this week, so we're just kind of winging it.
Hang on. I happen to have the internet right in front of me.
Yeah, he was 67.
There you go.
67.
67.
Yeah. 67. A lot of people's funny is they said that he was like a really nice guy to work with, like really down to earth, not like a horrible mafia gangster type of personality that he usually plays. Right.
Yeah, man. I remember in the which Silence of the Lambs was it? Was it the second one?
It was Hannibal.
Where he had his head peeled back and he was just eating his brain out of Ray Liotta's head.
He fed him a piece of his own brain.
I was like, there's certain movie scenes that just stick with me for a lifetime, and that one was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Did you ever, Jed? I don't know if you ever saw the clip with Ray Liotta. It was from Goodfellas, and when he was in the shower and he was yelling about Jimmy. Hey, remember that clip? That part of Goodfellas. They clipped that in with. They made it like he was listening to the Phillies in 2008 when they were, I think it was the championship round. Jimmy Rollins hit the game-winning triple in either the ninth inning or extra innings. It was like a walk-off, and they clipped that shit in. And like when he was listening to the radio, they put the Phillies game on the radio, and he goes nuts in the shit. Jimmy, you son of a bitch, dude! It's so fucking good, man. You ever see it?
No. I have to check that out.
Send that to you, man. It's a pretty good edit.
That's cool.
But yeah, man, Ray Liotta's dead. Crazy.
Just kind of scanning down the list here. There's a guy named, his name is Fred. He was 73 years old. He's a Brazilian footballer. 1972 Olympic team. Just Fred.
Just Fred.
That was
Rest in peace, Fred.
The drummer from a band passed away the same day that Ray Liotta died. Was it Depeche Mode?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the drummer from Depeche Mode, I think.
I know the drummer from the Spinal Tap drummer, but we might have talked about that.
Oh, that might have been it then. No, that was a while ago. No,
I can see where you get Depeche Mode and Spinal Tap mixed up.
no, because I heard someone from Spinal Tap had passed away sometime recently. But
I've got 2 words: shit sandwich.
Was it?
It was Andy Fletcher of Depeche Mode. He played synthesizers.
Oh, okay.
He passed away.
You know they're doing another Spinal Tap movie.
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah. When Nessa's getting her tattoo, I was talking to the artist and shit, Jason, and he was like, he's the one that told me about it.
What did they say about how's it go about the album? He's like, how much more black can this be? And you would say, well, none more black.
Yeah, like, you know what? I went back and watched that recently, not real recently, but like within the last couple of years, and I was worried about watching it because I thought it wasn't going to be as good as I remember it being. But luckily, like I took a couple rips ahead of time, and it was still just perfect. Spinal Tap.
Awesome. It's been a long time since I watched that.
I mean, really fucking stupid, but but it was perfect.
Bo Hopkins also passed away.
Who?
Bo Hopkins. He's a veteran actor who starred in more than 100 TV shows and movies, including The Wild Bunch and American Graffiti. He died on May 28th after
soap opera.
I don't see soap opera listed here. But yeah, he suffered a heart attack and died. He was 84. So he was in The Wild Bunch, The Getaway, The Killer Elite, American Graffiti, Small Town in Texas, The Bounty Hunter, and most recently 2020's Hillbilly Elegy. He also starred a number of TV shows during the 70s and 80s, including Dynasty, Charlie's Angels, Fantasy Island. Oh, Dynasty, yeah, that was a primetime soap. Charlie's Angels, Fantasy Island, Hotel, The A-Team, and Murder, She Wrote.
I was forced to watch that show with my mom because I think it was like on. Yeah, it was on like either like right before or right after like fucking Knight Rider or Airwolf or some shit like that.
Yeah.
What Murder She Wrote you're talking about?
No, right? Dynasty.
Oh, Dynasty.
No, Yeah.
I you go with Google Dynasty and the first thing that comes up is the 2017 series. Fuck you, Google.
The 2000 what?
2017 series. It was a remake.
I thought you were gonna say like Joan Collins or something like that.
That's how it goes, man. If you Google Optimus Prime, I guarantee you that 9 out of 10 of them are that movie Prime.
Fucking bitches.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, Linda Evans. That was the woman, the blonde woman. I couldn't remember who was in that, but yeah, her. John Forsythe was in that. Joan Collins. Yeah, a lot of big names in that show.
You know what? I take it back. It's only half and half. I just Googled Optimus Prime and it's about half and half.
The G1 extremists are doing their job. The algorithm
They're pushing back the tide. Yep. Yes.
It's goddamn terrorism. That's what that is.
Yo, what's up? What's up, liver lips?
Special guest Tyler Gillette, everyone. Let's give a hand for Tyler Gillette. How are you doing tonight, Tyler?
No thanks needed. I heard you guys were talking shit. The Queen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you guys celebrate the Queen's Jubilee in Canada?
Nobody that I know did.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, we're too busy getting high legally in public and being stuffed by all these gas prices.
You guys still have assisted suicide that's legal, right?
I think so, but I haven't found anyone to help me yet.
Well, you got the free clinic. You could just go into the free clinic and assist suicide, and they'll just like, yeah, no problem, buddy.
No, I mean,
Okay, dark turn.
If there is one, it's like in a back alley downtown Toronto somewhere in the basement of some like hidden away bar in the closet behind where they do all the illegal poker games.
Maybe they turn that.
I have no idea.
Maybe they turn that option off on Canada, because I remember that used to be a thing like back in the day.
That was an option off.
Like it was assisted suicide. Yeah, it's either on or off.
All I know is that most of my generation, if you offered them assisted suicide, there'd be a lineup down the block.
No, it's like, you're old and you're dying and you got cancer and you don't want to suffer anymore. So they're like, oh, I've come here to help you along your way.
It's just death in a tuxedo.
Yeah, it's like Kevorkianism, type of thing. But I remember that was a big spiel. I don't know how long ago that was. Maybe like
doesn't
10,
even have a
15
scythe
years ago.
anymore. It's just a cane.
Yeah.
He just shows up
And
at
a
your
needle.
door in a suit, but still with a hood and a skull for a face.
You should look that
Got
up.
a syringe.
I should look that up.
Yeah.
Levy, you should look that up. See if Canada still has legal assisted suicide or not.
Sure.
Thanks.
It's probably offered, not to anyone that wants it.
Well, it's free.
I mean, I'd be on the fucking waiting list if that was the case.
Canada assisted dying law.
Yeah. What year was that?
In June 2016, Parliament of Canada passed federal legislation that allows eligible Canadian adults to request medical assistance in dying.
See?
See,
It existed.
that's where they get you. Eligible candidate. You're never eligible unless you're on your way out anyway. If you can't work a 9 to 5, then it's like, yeah, sure, we'll help you and get rid of you. You're not a tax-paying citizen, and get fucked, nerd.
Wow.
Doc, I root for the Cowboys. Oh, you're out of here.
Yeah. I know. It'd probably be the same for Leafs fans if we still weren't the most successful franchise with a losing record.
I
The
was,
highest grossing franchise with a losing record.
I wish I wrote it down, but when I was going through like the whole MAME system, I was like testing games, and one of them was like a hockey game, and like the star of the thing was like Gretzky, and there was a bunch of people from like the Leafs and everything like else and stuff, but Gretzky wasn't on the regular team that he was usually on. What's he famous for? I'm not a hockey guy.
The Kings.
He was on the Kings. He was on the Kings.
Was he always on the Kings?
No, he was on the Kings. He was on the Oilers. He was on a few teams. Won a handful of cups, I think.
But the Kings, the majority of his career was the Kings, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It was just really funny how it was like super dated. So it was like everything that was like everybody that was popular, I guess, back in the late 80s.
Well, let's continue on with this stereotype, Jed, and let's speak to Tyler about maple syrup and
Right.
Oh no, is there a Captain Canuck movie coming out for the Marvel movieverse?
Captain Canuck.
Captain Canuck.
Jesus Christ.
Alpha Flight. Congratulations on Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
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 What's next? You gonna congratulate me on Nickelback's 21st studio album?
I was gonna say Alpha Flight and Nickelback and Justin fucking Bieber. Well done, Canada.
And Celine Dion. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
I know.
Wait. Isn't Gary Chalk from
Okay.
Canada?
I
Gary
think
Chalk's-
so.
He's
I know he
Canadian.
lives in America.
He's Canadian.
I
Mike.
think he was from out in BC.
We don't know what that means.
Yeah.
The British Columbia? Is that what that means?
British Columbia, yeah.
That's Canadian slang, Mike, by the way.
I know, it's weird. It's
when
like
you-
the
when you
only
take the-
province.
It's Canada slang, kind of like how we say we're from PA, which makes even less sense because at least BC is like the initials.
No. You want to know what doesn't make any fucking sense?
Yes, I do.
DC. DC is two different places in America. If you say something about DC, you can either take it as Washington, DC, or the DC in Baltimore.
No,
Is that right?
what? That's the same.
No.
No, that's the same. You're thinking there's two Washingtons. There's a Washington,
Washington.
DC,
Maybe
which
that's
is-
what it is. Yeah.
which is the little spot there in Maryland. But then there's
Washington
Washington
State.
the state. Yeah.
Dumb Canadian. Go drink some more maple syrup.
Go watch Slapshot again, Tyler.
Yeah. Eat some more freedom
My
fries.
bad. Yeah, sorry, I was watching Trump's recent video on treating the virus, and I was snorting some peroxide watered down with lemon skins. So it just went
You're
straight to my
behind.
head for a minute. I'm on a high.
You're either really behind on things or you're like hitting the top 10 hits or something like that. It's like your greatest hits.
This is multiversal, Tyler.
Probably.
Tyler. He's speaking to us
Oh, yeah.
directly from
He's
2020.
the the
It's,
time traveler.
you know what? It's crazy. It's funny you say that because so I recently just did a like I deactivated my Facebook for a week to see how life was without it. And it was like bittersweet because a lot of like my fun content, like my Warhammer pictures and all the painting stuff that I follow and Transformers groups and everything, I felt like I was missing out on that because like I love seeing people's pictures and like, you know, brother Kyle posts pictures in the chat and stuff, and but he used to post his stuff and Candace posts her stuff and just like artists and stuff I follow. Like that's the kind of stuff that I missed. But I other than that kind of stuff, I was completely fine without it. Like I didn't hardly check my phone at all.
Yeah.
I was more comfortable just putting my phone down and putting it away and not worrying about it. And the only reason I reactivated it yesterday is because I went to a show with a friend for her birthday. I went to a deathcore concert in Toronto at the Opera House, and we took a bunch of videos and a bunch of pictures, and you know, for her birthday. So like I posted some posts about the show and whatever, and you know, so it's back for a minute, but I'm surprised at how like comfortable I am just completely disconnecting from social media entirely. And like I keep Messenger so I can still check in. I think actually I think I was the most talkative in our little group chat the other day, discussing what I was comparing someone to a wrestler or something like that. I don't even remember what the conversation was, but it was like, yeah, this is my quarterly check-in. Just shoot the shit for an hour and then dip back out again. But like, I don't know. I honestly, I felt like I was talking to people more often when I didn't have like a Facebook to scroll through or social media to scroll through. I was like trying to engage with people more and like talk to people more. It was interesting.
I spend 90 to 95% of my social media time on my pages, and like the rest on my personal page. And even when I'm on my personal page, I rarely go on the newsfeed because I got so tired of like trying to hide all the, you know, people that were way too fucking political or, you know, the soapbox motherfuckers and all that shit or whatever. And it's like, like you said, you went through how many, what are you, 30? Are you 30 yet? 31?
31.
So like you had 20 some years without social media and they were fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just become such
it's interesting. It's interesting to me to see how much of a reliance there is on social media. Cause like even my work now relies on it. Like they post plant-wide updates on Facebook for the whole plant to see. It's like, well, what if we don't have Facebook? They're like, well, get fucked, idiot.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just guess what the new safety policies are, because that's a thing. But
I'll tell you I'm sorry. Go
ahead.
I'll tell you something
3,
else.
2, 1, go.
I'll tell you something else that like social media fucking made really weird, man. And I'll just give you a quick example. So Larry, my lead singer, Larry, this business that was right next to his house had a light on in the back, and it was shining like real bright into Larry's backyard. And Larry wanted to go in there and ask him to move it, point it in another direction, or turn it off at night or whatever. And Larry said he was ready. He marched in there. Not that he was going to start a fight, but he was ready for a fight. And I told him, fucking social media did that to you, because on social media, there's no accountability, you know, where you're going to go on there and mouth off and then you're going to get your ass handed to you. Like that doesn't happen. So people are like really comfortable with yelling at each other and fighting on social media and saying dumbass shit that they wouldn't ever say to somebody's face. You know what I mean? And it's
definitely conditioned us more to reply instead of understand.
And he
like
went in there.
Yeah.
He went in there to this dude and he said this dude was the nicest dude he ever met in his life. And he's like, yeah, man, I'll turn it off. No problem. And you know, and it was like, man, do you see, I told you, man, social media fucking, you know, everybody's ready for a fight at any time, you know, because of the way it is online.
Well, I mean, a part of that is because social media has created this really like petty culture of tit for tat.
I'd
like
just have tit for tit.
Yeah, I agree with you. But like, so to further that point, I was at work one day and this lady comes out to the smoking section. She didn't have a smoke and she was talking about, how her day's going, whatever. And I was like, "Oh, do you want to smoke?" And everyone looked at me funny. And she says no. And I was like, "Okay, no problem." And then someone else said to me, she just made a Facebook post about this. Like, I don't understand why you would ask. And I was like, "Oh, I don't have her on Facebook because that's not real life to me. Like,
Right.
I don't add people from work." But they were like so appalled that I didn't check her feed before talking to her in person.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Now, if you ever need a smoke, I'm never gonna give it to you. You didn't give me 10 likes on my status, bitch.
Right. Follow me for more recipes.
Yeah. That He-Man meme. Until next time, friends.
I've recently stopped answering tags, like where somebody tags me in some shit that they really want me to see, and then I go see it, and it's some shit that I've already seen 12 times already, and I've just kind of like, it's a blanket thing now, unless it's like, sometimes I go check it. I gotta go check it.
Man, you know who else doesn't answer tags? Fucking Dakota. The amount of times, like in like the last 6 months, where I've tagged him to help me steamroll you on those galactic mitts you call hands, and he doesn't show up. It's like I'm there by myself.
Did you see what I posted on his wall the other day? I know you don't have. You said you reconnected, right?
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
Mike! He just said he didn't have Facebook for a week.
Yeah, and he said he reconnected.
And he just said, "Do you check someone's feed before you ask them a question?" And he's like, "No."
He said
he
said he reconnected. Did he not say that?
I did. Yeah. I think I saw something about it. Yeah. You were talking something about your hands, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Not everyone checks your wall before they talk to you about things, Mike.
I put only hands post on the wall for him.
Yeah, that's funny. He'd be the first subscriber too, just for the memes, man. He honestly would. If you started an OnlyHands account and it's just pictures of your fucking your fucking frying pan hands, like, get the fuck out of here. He'd be the first one to sign up and add tips.
I told him
extra.
I was like, I'll do all kinds of crazy shit. I'll knock a cow out with one punch. I'll juggle watermelons.
Jesus Christ. Walk up to a church and ring its bell with your bare hands.
It's like, there's some shit when I see it, it never gets old, and you and him going off about the hands fucking cracks me up every time because there's always some new shit, It's like, all right, where are they going to go with it this time? And it's always something fucking new.
Oh man, that's too funny. I know I feel bad for your meat because like that shit must take a pounding. There's like a good 30 pounds in your hands alone.
One time I pulled my fly down and my penis just handed my hand $1 and said, "Please." Please don't do it.
No, sir, I don't want any trouble. Take my money. Holy fuck. Yeah, man. But like now all these people at work are like, yeah, I don't know if you guys have this issue as I do, but like I'm very much a work life is work life and home life is home life. Yeah. And I really like to try and keep the two separate.
Agreed.
But some of the people I work with, they like to intermingle all that kind of stuff. It's like high school sometimes. And I don't like to partake, but like, so I'm getting friend requests from these people and it's like, I got to see them every day. So if I hit decline or block because their opinions are way out of left field, then it's like, I got to go into work the next day and face that confrontation. And if they work directly beside me for 8 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, it's like, well, what am I going to do here? It's like, I may have to face these guys for 3 months and they may take super offense to that because that's the world we live in.
Yeah, but I think that honesty there is the best. Like, I feel like if I send somebody from work a friend request and they didn't answer it, and I actually said something about it, which I wouldn't, because I don't accept them either. But and they said exactly what you just said, I would be completely cool with that, because that's how I feel. I don't want anybody Like I'm here and I'm talking to you and it's cool and all, but like, you know, I don't need any of my outside life being talked about at work, you know, at all.
Well, yeah, like that's 100% it. I don't want to be, you know what I mean, the topic of the water cooler.
Right.
Oh, did
right.
you see what Tyler posted?
Yeah.
Man, he really likes the color blue. He's a fucking conservative through and through. Like, get the fuck. I can't deal with it, man. And like, I mean, I could go on for a tangent. You know, that's what I'm known for, and I'm trying not to, for the respect of your show. But it's just like it's played a big factor in why I decided to like deactivate my Facebook, because it's like not only is my personal world kind of run by it, but now my work life is also, you know what I mean, running by it, and it's like having the social media is forcing me to intertwine the two, which I'm super duper against. So
Right.
it's just an interesting situation, like looking at it from a third person view, because really this is a first world issue, and there's someone wishing that that all they had to worry about was dealing with someone they didn't want to be friends with on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds ridiculous and small when you describe it that way, but I think that the impact of social media on society is great. It is not great as in like woo great, but like great as in huge, you know, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Have you guys covered the Johnny Depp stuff on the show?
Everybody beat it into the dirt. Oh no, the ending. No, we didn't. I mean, no, we did not cover that yet.
Well, spoiler alert, I don't think there's going to be an Aquaman 3.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way. What did he get? He got 15 million.
At least not for her.
He got 15 million, which was then reduced to 13 and 350 thousand, and then she got 2 million. So like splitting the difference, I think it's like 11 million to Johnny.
Yeah.
And then she went on a social media rampage as well, saying like this is a huge step back for women, and you know, all the bullshit. It's crazy to me, man, because it's like I can spot these things from a mile away now, because it's almost like I understand how this game is played more so than I ever did.
What do you mean?
Because it's not, well, the PR thing, right, with celebrities. Have you noticed that, like, so a good example is thoughts and prayers, right?
Right.
If someone's in dire straits or if someone passes away, thoughts and prayers, and it's like copy paste. Well, when some of these celebrities do something that offends people, it's like, you know, well, fucking not Jack Nicholson. I don't know why that's the first one that came to mind. Fucking Johnny on the Spot, who was just in Star Trek, The Clone Wars. He just offended somebody and he wrote this, so I'll just copy paste that. And it's like, I am deeply personally agonizing about the offense that I have caused, and I did not mean to hurt any individuals. And the buzzwords are always there. I'm inclusive, and I have much love for the X community, the Y community, the Z community, you know what I mean, the 1, 2, 3 community. And I am going to strive to be a better person going forward. And it's just like, how many people did you get to write this response for you?
Yeah.
But every one of them looks the same. And that's the game. I can do something fucked up, but because I have money, as long as I write this extremely detailed, well-written response to me being a shithead, and I pay whatever fines that may come my way, which I can definitely afford because they're never high enough to impact my life, then, you know, all is forgiven because I'm tending to the court of social media. But like, that's the game. The game is you do something shitty and you write a copy paste response or a copy paste apology that is completely unoriginal. And not that all is forgiven, but it's supposed to be like, you know, my hands are clean of it now. I addressed it. It's nutty to me. And like with this Amber Heard thing, like she's using all the buzzwords like, oh, this is a women's rights violation, and you know, he used his influence and his whatever, and it's like, shut up. Like all the videos, like all the videos and the voice recordings and shit. Like, we know you're a shitty person. Just eat crow on. You'd look so much better if you were like, you know what, I fucked up.
I said that. I said that a couple weeks ago that Johnny Depp actually gained what's the word I'm looking for? Like believability. I know that's not the word I use, but
credibility.
Credibility. Yeah.
Credibility,
when he was basically, like, I do some fucked up shit. I do this fucked up shit. I do that fucked up shit. That fucked up shit. I own all that, but this particular thing, I don't do that. And which I thought was awesome because he didn't try to come out looking like an altar boy and shit in all aspects of his life. He's basically like, yep, I do A through Y, but Z, that's I don't do Z.
Yeah. And it's like, there's that level of accountability, but I don't know, especially in this specific instance, like the accountability isn't there for, Amber Heard's side. She doesn't feel accountable for fucking anything. The amount of lies that they caught her in the trial, and it was covered on every fucking YouTube channel known to man.
You couldn't get away from it.
Yeah. Well, it was so bad to the fact that one of the witnesses that was on the stand had to say something like, "Hey, I know that there's a court case going on, but like people were just gunned down. Like, let's not talk about this trial for a minute."
Oh, I was actually just going to say that, like, I had to check and see if there was a war still going on.
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
laughing at the fact that there was a war still going on, but the fact that you just couldn't get out of the, well, yeah, but I mean, it's always going to be something, before that it was Will Smith smacking, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And before that it was whatever. And before that it was whatever. There's always going to be something.
Yeah. I don't know. That's like the connectivity of social media. And this is like a topic that's generally beaten to the ground because we all say how bad social media is for it, but we never actually give it up. And if we do, it's never for long. But like it's something that should be a tool and not an augmentation. But a lot of us have let it become an augmentation.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's more a part of it's the same amount of a part of our lives as it is one of our vital organs in our body at this point. Because where do you go without your phone? You can't even take a shit without your phone in your hand to, check your timeline or your likes or your followers.
Well, it does beat the hell out of the back of the shampoo bottle. You cannot read that shit so many times.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe shit faster. You know what I mean? Push. But I didn't mean to join in and go on a social media rampage. That's not. If I'm being honest, I was just going to sit in the background and listen to the live performance. But then when you started bringing up G1, I had to step in and say something.
Oh man, yeah, that reminds me of the old days back when I wish you would have gave up fucking social media.
I know. I was a troll. I was definitely a troll. But you know what? I was good at it. I was very good at it.
I'll tell you why you were good at it was because it just refused to block you because I used to enjoy being pissed off. Like it could have been easy. You just block this motherfucker, you know what I mean? But nah, couldn't do it.
No, but instead you re-upped and then doubled down and came all the way out here to meet me in person.
That'd have been some funny shit if I befriended you all as an act just so I could get up there and meet you so I could fucking throw fists.
I'm still not convinced it's not an act. Honestly, I'm thinking in my mind, you're just waiting for me to come to your home country where you can't get in international trouble.
Yeah, it's a solid point. It's a solid point.
Why do you think I'm dragging my feet on coming to an American TF con? I know what's waiting for me.
I won't even let you get all the way down here. I'd just be standing on the other side. Like I'll just be in Buffalo somewhere, and just the second you check in, but you don't check out.
I know, man. I mean, to be fair, Mike, it's not really hard to spot you out of a crowd with those giant Popeye hands. So
yeah, well,
I just got to run away with the guy with, skin covered boxing gloves for hands.
Shit. So what else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah. What else is going on?
It's a freeform show. We don't got no news. We don't got no fucking trailers. We don't got nothing.
What about that masterpiece, Jetfire?
Yeah, well,
announced?
we do have to. I do have. I did my part. I got toy news.
Oh, okay. Did anyone see the if it's freeform? Did anyone see the second Sonic movie
Yeah,
I didn't see the first one.
with Knuckles?
yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, we know, Levy. You beat it into us like 6 episodes straight that you're never going to watch the Sonic movie.
Oh, did I? Did I?
Yeah, I remember. You're the sole reason I went out of my way to watch the first one. I'm like, well, Levy's not going to see it, so I'm going to go see it twice. So I saw it for you.
I did. I saw the second movie.
I haven't seen the second one, but I'm really excited to.
That's awesome.
What did you guys think of it?
Thought it was pretty awesome. Watched it with the kids a whole bunch of times.
Nice. I think it's interesting, man. Someone compared it to fan service, but I don't think it's fan service because they were correcting a wrong. And I think it was a really, really good move on Disney's part. Have you guys watched the new Chip and Dale movie?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I skimmed through some of it, but yeah, they had the ugly Sonic.
The ugly Sonic segment?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was great.
It was fantastic, man.
We were talking about people
Disney's funny for that one.
At conventions rolling in with the Funko Pops. They had a convention scene, and there's was it? I think it was Dale was had his own booth, sign, and then they had Baloo as coming up on the fucking stage, singing and shit like that from the Jungle Book.
Tigra
was in it, yeah. She had the Avengers sign handwritten.
Yeah.
But then they had the ugly Sonic render was a character. He's like, what? He's like, what? What do you mean I can't get my own show?
Yeah, the internet freaked out about my human teeth and I've never lived it down yet. But don't worry, I'm making a comeback. I got this brand new role and it's a Sonic crime fighting adventure. It's fucking that scene was hysterical. I didn't watch the rest of the movie, but
there was a part that was pretty funny where Seth Rogen's character is this mini Viking character guy or whatever. He's one of the bad guys.
Yeah, the Polar Express eyes.
Yeah. So he fell, and they were getting chased around the convention again, and he fell, and he was at the roof on his back. His other character from Kung Fu Panda came over, and then the other character that he voiced from I can't remember the other show. Oh, the fucking Blob from Aliens and Monsters and Aliens. And then there was a third of another animated character, and they all just started laughing at him with the same fucking stupid laugh that he has.
God, I didn't make it that far.
Oh, it was really funny because they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What are you doing on the floor?" He's like, what are you looking at?" He's like, "We're just looking at your lifeless eyes." And they're like, and they all started fucking laughing in tangent. It was pretty good.
Tyler,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Tyler, look in the chat, man. You see this picture here? Eagles parking, members only.
Oh my god.
So Chris Bricks on the Dollar. Chris sent me that shit. He was down at Skullfest, I guess, and he sent me that. He said it was somewhere in Maryland, and I said, "Did they have Raptor or Blue Jay parking anywhere?" And he said no, and I said, "I don't fucking think so."
That's funny. Well, I mean, they wouldn't, so. Eagle's a common animal. But I mean, if Phil owned a business, there'd be Raptor parking.
Yep.
You see the new Thor trailer?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Russell
it looks pretty good, man.
Plays Zeus.
Yeah.
Wait, what's up?
Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah.
He does the flick. No.
I hope the Jane Foster Thor is cool in the movie because I thought it was pretty cool in the comic books, honestly. not that it's going to be exactly the same as in the comics or whatever, but I'm just saying.
Was it cool that she had cancer or what?
I just thought,
Nice, Jeff.
you fucking idiot, because she had cancer. Yeah.
What part of her being Thor was cool?
She was just a fucking cool Thor, man.
Well, that's why
And
the reason
I
why she
guess-
was Thor, because she was fucking dying of cancer. So it wasn't really like a cool thing, you know.
The
It was a
reason
very
why
tragic-
Galactus isn't what makes Galactus cool. Like, yeah, so he came over from another universe. He was a dude and became like Galactus is just would be cool either or, like regardless of what made him.
So are you saying conceptually just having a female Thor is cool? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it would still
not-
have to be.
I'm
It
not-
would still have to be a cool character. It's not like the character just because it's female, you know,
Yeah.
will make it cool. It's just like it's like the Hellraiser thing, man. I was kind of I wasn't feeling a female Pinhead, and then I started seeing pictures of a female Pinhead. I'm like, fucking hey, man, that looks vicious. Maybe I'm on board. You know, like you can't just be some shit female character, because I think there's some of those going around.
He made
Yeah,
him
I
feel
also
something in his
think.
nether regions.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing like a big titty goth bitch all dressed up, right?
Yeah, right.
No, man, but there's something to be said about that kind of reaction too, though, because I feel like when we're proposed an idea that we're not familiar with, or like that's a radical change, you know, as humans, we're immediately resistant to change inherently. So I feel like a part of it, until we see the idea executed, we kind of run through all the possibilities in our head of the outcomes.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're watching the movie take place before it's even written in your head, and you start hating all the bad things that you're thinking about. And it just makes you, you know what I mean, slap that, whatever that identity of whatever the change is, with whatever fucking headcanon you're creating. And, you know what I mean? I think I'm guilty of that with like some Warhammer stuff. And I've done that shit in the past with like video games, where, you know what I mean, just based on a trailer or something, I see a bunch of changes that I'm not really fucking with, and I don't really give it the proper, for lack of a better term, good old college try. And right, you know, even before it comes out, I've already judged it into oblivion. And I think that's a popular thing amongst, maybe it's just my generation, but I think it's a popular thing amongst people to kind of like get ahead of themselves with these little teasers and try and expand upon their own shitty ideas, whatever it may be. But I also think it's really cool. Like there's people out there still that, you know, look at the positive side of that. It's like, you know, female Thor. It's like, man, this is going to be really cool. It's going to be a different dynamic. It's going to be whatever, instead of just
I think we've
being
been
an internet shitlord.
I think the more that time goes on, I think we're more and more conditioned to accept it, because it's, you know, like there's changes made to existing characters all the time in movies going forward, as long as it's good. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I guess you're referring to like if like a character was male and is now female, or vice versa, or character was this race and now this character is that race or whatever. Like, you know, the character still got to be good. Like it still suck and has it wouldn't have anything to do with the change necessarily. But like, you know, like Samuel L. Jackson was a awesome Nick Fury, you know, that is completely different from the Nick Fury that we grew up with, but he was just a fucking great character one way or the other. It didn't matter what came before, you know? So
Yeah.
But I think
and like execution's huge on that, right? It all depends on how the portrayal is executed. But a lot of times some people don't wait for that to happen, and they just kind of, you know, try and get ahead of the ball and condemn it before it even becomes a thing.
Yeah,
I'm speaking from personal, like I've done that before with like, so perfect example was the new Saints Row game that's coming out. It's a complete reboot, and they made a bunch of changes to the game. And like early on, I was like, man, this looks like shit. Like there's none of the familiar characters. The story sounds really dumb. It's a bunch of college kids that created a gang to get out of student debt. Like that sounds dumb as fuck. But like the more I see about the game now, like the gameplay looks rad, the customization looks rad, and I'm like, you know, maybe I should give this shit a chance. I'm just lucky I'm not a fucking YouTube influencer because I'd be definitely eating crow more times than I can count. Are you guys familiar with Saints Row?
I've heard of it, but I'm not
I'm
familiar.
familiar with it, but I've never really played any of the games.
Okay, so you know how Fast and the Furious started out as a racing movie and then like jumped the shark?
Yeah.
So Saints Row started out as a Grand Theft Auto clone and then did the exact same thing, jumped the shark. Literally, like almost in the exact way that Fast and Furious did. We almost kind of did it like parallel to each other, but like started off grounded in reality. Then I got a little more over the top. Then I got a little more over the top, and then it ended with them going to space. Like actually, I draw comparisons to the two a lot because I have a lot of friends that hate the Fast and Furious franchise, and it's like, yeah, but you love Saints Row, and they're the same thing. And I get a lot of, wait a minute, fuck, you're right.
Fucking A.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember going to see. I can't remember which one it was, but it was ice and a submarine involved, and the submarine fired like a torpedo at something. And I can't remember if it was The Rock or if it was fucking Vin Diesel was hanging out the car and like kicked the torpedo off course or whatever. And I'm like, and to make it even funnier is that Kong, the Skull Island, was the movie. It was a double feature because we were at the drive-in and shit, and we saw Kong, and then we were watching Fast and the Furious. And when that happened, when he kicked the fucking torpedo, I looked over at Nessa and I'm like, the Kong was the more believable movie somehow. Fucking 300-foot ape, you know what I mean, and dinosaurs and fucking monsters on his island, and it was more fucking believable in this movie. I can't remember.
Yeah, but I don't really want to like get into a big Fast and Furious discussion, but like in its defense,
neither do I.
I don't think that it's trying to be as serious as everyone seems to think they're trying to be. I think they're very self-aware, and I think their entire intent is to just create a spectacle of, because in my opinion, they're like the pinnacle of the modern day action genre. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's like performance art. That's what an action movie is. It's performance art. It's not about the story. It's about the execution of the stunts.
It's about Jason Statham fist fighting a shark at the end of the movie.
yeah. The Meg was a fucking great movie, dude. What are you talking about? I feel like they should have more crossovers in those kind of movies. Like, I want Jason Statham to take on the Meg and Godzilla and Kong. You know what I'm saying? In a Jaeger.
I want to see Jason Statham, like him and The Rock and Vin Diesel, like a 3-man match, you know, winner take all inside the Meg. Like the Meg is just swimming around and shit, and they're fighting inside the fucking shark.
Like Jonah and the Whale.
Yeah, like Jonah and the Whale. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think we just wrote something. No, I agree. I think it's as a matter of fact, when that scene with whoever kicked the fucking, you know, I'll say Vin Diesel because I think it might have been him, but yeah, let's have Vin Diesel kick the torpedo, and they probably all giggled, and then they put the joint out, and then they went back to work, and they just ran with it. Like I agree. They probably
yeah,
did.
Man. Like the newest movie where they go to space, there's a scene with a magnet plane where a car flies off a cliff and a magnet plane comes and scoops down and like, you know, grabs the car and flies away with it, right? So what's cool about that though, and I know it's funny, but what's cool about that though is that was an 11-year-old's idea. It was one of the crew's son's idea. And they were like, they pitched it to the fucking director or one of the writers or something. They were like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's do that. And like, that's the kind of shit that I get behind because it just fuels the imagination.
There was a teacher I had back in college, man, when I went to like in one of my art classes. And that was one thing that he told me that stuck with me to this day is like, when you're being creative or when you're trying to be creative, you need to fucking you think like a fucking 10-year-old as often as you can, because like he didn't say it exactly these words, but he said it in not so many words. Like, you know, you become an adult and life kicks the shit out of you and you lose your imagination, and then you're just going by the rules of the world that you live in. But when you're fucking 10 years old or 8 years old or 12 years old or whatever, the world still there's magic exists and fucking dragons exist and all this crazy shit. So there's nothing stopping your fucking mind from coming up with whack ass stuff, you know? And he said,
dude.
And then and it's a solid advice, honestly.
That's why like I'm a big fan of that franchise, because it's not so much the story, because like the story's cringy, the dialogue's really cringy at times. I'm
cringy.
fully aware of that. But like it's a love letter to the action genre, and it's like a tribute to the 10-year-old in me that, you know, fucking wandered around my house with a little dinky car going up and down on the railings on the stairs. You know what I'm saying? And just like making it fly through the air and crash down. Like that's the type of shit that I love growing up, and this is like, it's just putting it before my eyes with really cool fucking CGI. And like I don't know if it was you guys I was talking to about it, but I think I was talking in the chat about it, about like comparing that to like wrestling, whereas the story doesn't matter to me as much as the execution of the performance of the action, because that's exactly what wrestling is. Wrestling is just a bunch of grown men ad-libbing loose storylines at each other, and then the main event is, you know, how well they perform stunts in the ring on each other, and then selling the ending. And it's like, that's just what I want out of a movie. So this is my TED Talk. Thanks for coming on the Fast and Furious franchise.
Hey, going back to video games.
That's what everybody was waiting for.
Going back to video games and the Saint Row thing, what was the name of that video game that was, I think you were like a cop or something like that, and you had a dog or a wolf or some shit, and it was like slow motion type of bullet time move. You kind of like were partnered up.
Oh, Max Payne.
That's it, Max Payne.
Yeah. I played the first. I never played the third one, but I played the first two back on PlayStation 2, and I really liked them. I liked the movie with Mark Wahlberg, to be honest with you. I thought that was really cool.
There was a Max Payne movie? I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was good.
Mark Wahlberg and what's her name? Freaking Ashton Kutcher's wife. Fucking
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, Mila Kunis, yeah.
I know they had a Hitman movie with what's his name from
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
They've had two Hitman movies, actually. I liked the first Hitman movie, but they had another one which was it was okay. I liked the first one better.
I didn't know about the second.
Wasn't the second one with the guy from that played Spock in the Star Trek reboot? Isn't he in Hitman?
Zachary Quinto.
I don't think so. He might have been in it, but I think it's the dude that was in the Transporter Refueled, or whatever the hell it was called, the Transporter reboot. Yeah, man. I think video game movies have come quite a bit, or quite a ways now too.
Yeah, Zachary
Quinto really
was
interesting.
John Smith, Rupert Fiend. He played Agent 47.
Yeah, Rupert Friend. Yeah. Now looking at him, I don't think he's the dude I was thinking from the new Transporter movies or movie.
I'll have to check out that Max Payne movie.
I thought it was okay, so you'll probably hate it. But you know, I don't know. I remember liking it. I haven't seen it in a while.
I didn't like the Uncharted movie. I thought that was fucking dog shit.
I was never a fan of the Uncharted series anyway, so I don't think I'll ever see it, because I just don't care.
I like the games.
That's the one with what's his name?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Tom Hilliard or whatever.
Tom
Holland, yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg is Sully. He's so miscast.
Yeah.
That's a big thing in video game movies as well.
To me, that was the only major problem with that movie, I thought. I mean, I actually did enjoy the movie other than Mark Wahlberg. So
the whole helicopter ship fight scene should have been cut completely out of the movie. Yeah, it was horrible.
It was okay. It was pretty fucking ridiculous, but you know.
Yeah, it was really, 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 really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, on a scale,
what the fuck was that?
On a scale of Sonic the Hedgehog to Mortal Kombat Annihilation, how was it, Jed?
Which one? Uncharted?
The Uncharted, yeah.
Oh, I maybe like 1 or 2 movies above Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Wasn't that bad? Come on now.
It
Jesus.
sucked. It sucked.
I'll be honest though, I don't. Yeah, Tom Holland as I know why they cast him as Nathan. Is it Nathan Drake?
Yeah.
Nathan. Yeah, I know why they cast him because he's a big draw and his popularity with the Marvel franchise and whatever. But like, from what I know of Uncharted, like I don't think he was the. And I haven't seen it, so don't even listen to me because I don't know. But I don't know if he'd be the right choice for that casting decision.
No, I don't think he was a good casting choice, but he did what he could with the role, I think. And I love those kinds of movies, like those treasure hunting adventure movies. I love them. So even a bad one to me is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good. So
See,
I
I'd
like the
rather
Tomb
watch.
Raider movies.
I actually never watched the Tomb Raider films.
I was gonna say I actually liked the new Tomb Raider movie. It was actually like 10 times better than Uncharted.
Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, the other ones with fucking
Angelina
what's her
Jolie.
name? Angelina Jolie was shit, but the new one was actually pretty good. I would
Well, I mean,
rather
that's
watch I'd rather watch National Treasure movies back to back than Uncharted.
You say it like that's a bad thing. What's wrong with National Treasure?
Isn't that with Nick Cage?
Yeah. The National Treasure movies are great.
Steal the Constitution.
What a character.
So what other trailers came out this past couple of weeks? I know there was I know the Thor one was, and it looks pretty good. Get to see Christian Bale as the bad guy. There was
Gore. Yo, he's a creepy Gore, man. I thought he looked really good. I mean, obviously not comic accurate Gore, but just on its own, he looked like a creepy motherfucker, man.
What if he like lost like 5,000 pounds to be in the role or something again?
I'm
Something
sure
weird.
he lost. Like, I don't think he got down to where he was when he was. What was it? The Mechanic or some shit? What was that one movie he was in?
Yeah.
No, The Machinist.
Boxing.
The
movie?
Machinist. Yeah. Like, not like
he wasn't
that,
too
I
far
don't
from
think.
that in The Fighter also.
That's the movie I was thinking of, The Fighter, when he was like a freaking crack addict. Or was he a crack addict and machinist? Was
No, he wasn't a crack addict, but
He was
not in The
druggy
Machinist. He wasn't.
in The
He was-
Fighter.
No, in the Machinist, he was. I think he was schizophrenic.
He was struggling with guilt.
But then it was
So-
the Fighter. He was a druggie because he was looking for him in a drug house. That one part.
Mhm.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the movie with Christian Bale, Harsh Times,
Yeah.
Times.
where he's an Army Ranger who comes back he comes back from deployment, but he's like all fucked up in the head. But he hangs out with I guess this dude that he knew before who is Mexican. So like they're in like a Mexican borough, and it's a really interesting movie. And it came out around the same time, I think, as The Machinist. But essentially, it's him. Like he wants to be a federal agent or something, but like it shows him in his private life where he's just like a really slimeball motherfucker. And Christian Bale, he would be a really, really good villain for like. If he wasn't Batman already, I'd say he'd be a really good Batman villain because he plays evil roles really well.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
Did you guys see the
Maybe we'll see him
trailer?
in Fast and Furious 11.
Yeah.
As a wizard, this will be like when they start the time travel type shit.
Fast and Furious meets Back to the Future.
Yeah. Yep. It's the
just
only
have
place
him-
it hasn't gone yet.
Have them all sitting around playing dens, and they just go into the fantasy world. Be the next step.
It'd be
Speaking of,
Fast
did
and
you guys-
Furious 88 miles an hour.
Did you guys see Willow?
I did, yes.
I did not.
Thoughts, Levy?
Yeah, it looks cool, and I guess it's a series, not a movie, which I originally thought was going to be a movie. But
Right.
no, it looks cool. It's been forever since I've seen the movie. I actually saw it in theaters though, when I was a kid. But yeah, it's been forever since I've seen it. I saw that they got Joanne Whalley back.
Mm-hmm. I saw that too.
Which is cool. And they're saying that Mad Mardigan's going to play, some sort of key role in this movie. I mean, I don't know if he's actually going to be a character, but like maybe like his legacy or something that's going to play a key role in it. I don't know. That's what they were saying.
Maybe like his kid or something like that.
Maybe. I mean, because there's no way that Val Kilmer will be able to do it. But
I was going to ask you about that since you saw Top Gun. Was Val Kilmer actually in it, or was there just
yes,
like
he was?
He was. Okay.
Yep.
Did they like write in his like whole like throat cancer thing?
Oh yeah,
or whatever?
Absolutely.
Did they? Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. And he actually, when they filmed this movie, he actually couldn't talk.
Right.
But he does. So what they did was they had him communicating through a computer.
Okay.
Because he was actually because Maverick came to his house and was talking to him about some things, and so he was actually like just typing things on a computer, and Maverick was just reading it off the screen. But then at the end, he actually stood up and spoke, but he actually couldn't talk. So what they did is they used an AI to reconstruct his voice, like an audio deepfake.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But it wasn't like his normal speaking voice. I mean, it was he was rasping and
right.
very strained. But yeah, apparently they used this AI to recreate his voice,
just like they did with Mark Hamill and Boba Fett.
Yeah, I heard about that too. I mean, you think it would have been a lot cheaper just to hire Mark Hamill to dub the lines? The guy's still alive and he's still perfectly willing to play the character.
Well,
but fuck him. We're just going to use a computer to freaking speak for him.
They have him on set, right? And they have him like all dressed up, and he acts out the part, and they use it as reference. So they use it as reference for the deep fake. They use it as reference for the audio and all that stuff. So he's there and part of it. They're like he sounds a lot different than what he did 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's it's easier just to synthesize that his voice since they can do it.
Okay, that makes sense then. Now that you mentioned that,
I started watching. I watched the whole first part of Stranger Things, fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually really good, really good.
It was. Yeah, we watched all 7 episodes.
I was surprised at how riveting it kept going, and how it kept you interested in watching.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat at the end of episode 4.
What's that chick's name? The song. What's that song? The
Kate Bush running up that hill.
Kate Bush. Never heard that song before. Yeah, I started listening to it a couple of times, and I actually wanted to listen to the song because of that scene. I'm
that
wow, that
song is climbing the charts.
Yeah,
that song is climbing the charts right now. So, but yeah, no, it's been a great show, and I love that new character Eddie. I think he's great.
Eddie.
The pizza delivery guy.
No, that's Argyle. No, the one that's the one that's hiding.
Oh yeah, the dungeon master. You mean?
Yeah,
that's why you like him.
Yeah. No, but he's cool. He's a cool character. I like him. Like him a lot. So, and is it wrong that I felt like an extreme amount of satisfaction when she broke that girl's nose?
No, that's how
she fucked
felt
her up.
back in the. That's how all kids felt back in the 80s.
Yeah, she
before
fucked
they
that
had
girl up.
Anti-bully stuff. You always wanted to take a fucking bat to somebody's head,
roller skate to somebody's face. Jesus.
The good old days.
Crack her skull open.
Yeah, like I said, she fucked that girl up.
Do you have any weird news there, Levy?
Wait. Before we get to weird news, I finished Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
That's still going?
Well, I let it run out until they were all done, and then we watched because I was following along because I thought it was going to end at the end of the season. And then when I found out that they were going to do a ending next year, like a movie or another couple episodes or whatever the fuck it is that they're doing, I'm like,
a whole another season.
Yeah. So then I just waited. So I just waited for the last 7 or 8 episodes to get released. And then me and Vanessa just watched them both we both watched all of them the last 2 or 3 days. Watched the last 8
Holy
episodes.
Fuck. Thank God you're not a fan of Naruto. Be waiting forever for that show to end. Or One Piece.
Well, they don't end. They just keep going, keep writing the manga.
Yeah.
But man, it was fucking intense, man. Once the rumbling, well, first of all, now I can finally talk about it. The rumbling happened, so now the series is not a failure, because I'm like, they've been talking all this shit about all these Titans coming out of all the walls and just mashing the entire planet, and I've heard about it so many times that if I don't see it now, I'm just it's a fail. But it's happening, so that's cool. And the scene in, it was either the last episode or the second last episode, where they're trying to get, they had the plane attached to the boat, and they were trying to sail the plane out of there, because it's the whole fucking scene, man, with Annie and Reiner fighting everybody, like, and Connie and what's his face, Armin, had to kill them other two guys that were their friends. Like, I'll tell you one thing they really did, man. They really like conveyed the feelings really well, like with the animation itself, like the way they did and everything, you know, like you really, I don't know, I got attached to a lot of the character. Like, I was not attached, but just invested in a lot of these characters, and you catch yourself fucking feeling it when they're, you know, like they had to kill two of their boys, man, to get done what they had to get done, which was crazy. But that whole fight that ensued once the Jaegerists figured out what they were doing, and they were trying to like fire all them thunder spears at the ship and blow the ship up, and Annie and Reiner were just taking all the missiles to the faces, and you just see pieces of the fucking Titans falling off and shit. And
yeah, and
of
then
course,
your girl saved the day. Your girl saved the day.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna tell you, not that everyone's sick and tired of hearing me talk about how much I hate her, but I'm gonna
Sniper girl.
I'm gonna finally put into perspective why I hate her as much as I do, and it's because I like the series so much. You know, like if we could put, you know, I'm trying to think of another fucking terrible character from another series. Like, let's say Star Wars and Jar Jar Binks. Like, everybody hated Jar Jar Binks. I'm a little bit more of a casual Star Wars fan, so Jar Jar Binks didn't grit my teeth as much as it might have gritted a hardcore Star Wars fan's teeth. You know, because they just love the shit out of Star Wars so much that there's this fucking one character they can't stand. I really love the shit out of this series. Like, this series is definitely, it's, to me anyways, is in my top 5 like anime franchises, like series wise, of all time. But that character, she's such a shit character, and it puts like a blemish on the whole thing. I think if I didn't love the series as much as I do, I don't know that she would bother me as much. I would probably still roll my eyes at her, but I don't know. But that whole scene though, yeah, she's the one that shot Flock. Well, Flock needed to die too. See, I was torn because Flock was a whack job, man. Like, it's amazing how many people they captured in this animation. And when I say, I don't mean specific people, but I mean like types of people. Like, all the characters in that, we can associate with all of them, or know somebody that is like certain characters in that shit. Like, they really did a really good job building story and characters and shit like that in that series. I just hope they do it justice with whatever ending it is that they're planning on doing. But man, shit, when them Titans were, that scene where they were coming through where they were going across the water, and like all those battleships fired all that shit at it, and they took out like the first row of them, and then like the rest of them came through, and they had that like cloud of steam coming with them, and it just fried everybody on the ships, and then they had the people on the coast, and they fired a bunch of cannons off, and they just blew a couple pieces of them, you know, a couple pieces of Titans off them and stuff like that. But there was that one scene where they showed, it was like an aerial view of all the troops and the cannons, and they all knew that it was fucking useless what they were doing. And you just saw one guy turn around and start inching his way back, and then he just took off, and then everybody followed him. Like, I don't know. It just really, they did a good job of conveying the feelings of like how intense that whole situation was. Because I'll tell you what, that's some fucking horrifying shit. Like, you watch it and it's like, yeah, it's a fucking cartoon, but like, you put yourself in the shoes of like, imagine being at the Jersey fucking Shore, dude. How tall were those? They said they were 45 meters tall, I think. So I mean, it's 130, 140 foot, like thousands of them coming off the coast, heading right towards the shore, dude. Could you fucking imagine? It's crazy.
It is crazy, but you know what? I'm not entirely surprised that they were able to overcome that extremely difficult time, because at the end of the day, they probably had family.
All right, your time is done. Tyler, it's been good talking to you. Don't you have some father shit to do somewhere?
No, man, my son went to bed. That's why I jumped in. I was like, what are these degenerates doing? Come on, what are you saying, Mike? You pulling up Too Fast, Too Furious on me? Ejectocito, cuz. Oh man, I could kill you with Fast and Furious references, and you'd never get them.
Yeah, I'd rather you did.
How many have you seen? Have you seen them all?
How many
You've seen a few?
It's like I don't know, man. It's like
I saw the first one, and that's it.
They all blend
There's
together.
10 of them.
There's 10 of them. Yeah, they all blend together.
Yeah,
I could probably see scenes and
There's 10 of
go,
them.
I've seen that scene, but not know which one it was from.
That's fair. Yeah, there's 10 of them. There's 9 Fast and Furious movies and 1 spinoff, Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yep.
No, that's cool, man. I've been told a lot to get into Attack on Titan, and I've just been kind of like dragging my feet on it, because I know it's gonna be a show that I'm gonna like, and I know that I'm gonna want to like binge watch it. So I'm really just trying to find a good time to sink my teeth into it. And now that I know that like it's coming to an end,
Yeah.
I can just watch it all in one go, and then, you know what I mean, take it all in.
I'll tell you 2 things about it, and it all amounts to the same thing. Like when you're getting into it, is that the way it starts is not how it's going to be at the end. Like they definitely they find a way to take a fucking a storyline that's already kind of like dark and like interesting on its own, but then build onto it. Like by the time you get to the end, it's like your fucking head's going to be spinning, and not in a bad way that you can't wrap your brain around it, but just like, I don't know, they could have did a couple seasons worth of everything that was going on in season 1, but they did a really great job of like world building, you know? So by the end, you're really going to be like invested in a lot of characters and like what they're doing and all that shit. But the other thing that I think you would probably be into, and it was something that I didn't think I'd be into. Like if you would have told me ahead of time that they were going to find a way to really like, capture what goes on with politics and mankind and different races and different countries and how they treat each other, and like a lot of shit that's actually going on today, like, you know, like modern political issues, I would have rolled my fucking eyes and been like, dude, I'm watching this shit because I don't feel like fucking dealing with that shit. But I really feel like they did a really good job of writing it in a way that, you know, it almost opens your eyes a little bit, you know, like it's amazing. Like that's exactly fucking, you know, it's exactly what's going on right now, or it's exactly what was going on 10 years ago. Like it's pretty fucking wild, man.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to sink my teeth into it finally. And like, is it Attack on Titan that has like the really cool heavy metal intro? Is it you that was sharing that with me?
The last season sounds like some shit the last season intro is some shit that sound like you would probably listen to.
Okay, dope.
I just made a comment to Ness last night when we were watching. I'm like, I gotta look this band up and see if they got like albums, or I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah, man. No, I dig that. Like, what was it? Iron Blooded Orphans, the Gundam show. Have you watched that yet?
I did. Yeah. You turned me on to that probably fucking 2 years ago. Maybe.
Yeah. Did you finish it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I watched it. It was good. It was good. I could get into any kind of mech stuff. Like, so I was like walking into that looking to enjoy it.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's another show that had a really kick-ass intro. Like the Raise Your Flag song was like, every time I heard it, like, and I binge watched the shit out of that show, but it's like, you know, every 25 minutes hearing that song was like, it got me pumped up. I'm ready for this episode.
Well, let me plant this bug in your ear, and then when you get to the end of Attack on Titan, me, you, and Jed will talk about it again. But me and Jed have been like grading the theme songs from season to season, and some seasons had 2 theme songs because they would go with like a first half of a season theme song and then the second half of a season. So how many were there, Jed, total? Was there 5? I think the long season
Seasons?
had maybe 2
Or songs.
Well, I know there was 4 seasons, but season 1 had a song, and then season 2 I think had 2 theme songs. Did it not? Like a first half and a second half, because it was a really long season.
Season 1 had 2 songs. And then
Season 1 had the 2 songs. Okay.
And so did this season had 2 songs.
This season, so then it would have been 6 total. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to them all again, because we were like putting them in our order. And I honestly, the more I hear this last one, the more I'm starting to put that one. Oh, it's tough because that season 1 opening is so good though.
You should go on YouTube and watch the full song instead of just a.
I did.
Version. Did you?
I did. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I respect your opinion, but I didn't find that section that they added off-putting as you did.
I just don't like when a song is like kicking ass and rocking that you just stop and slow it down for no reason. Then you get back into it's just keep it going.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know, but I'm all for the roller coaster ride in a song. You know, like sometimes when shit gets progressive. You know, well, what the fuck, man? You a Coheed and Cambria fan? Them fucking songs
That is
are all
not
over
progressive.
the place.
That's just a break. That's where they just change.
Right. I'm
like
not trying to say that it's progressive, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Sometimes I like a. No,
I swear
I
to God, you said when the song gets progressive like that. I thought that's what you said.
No.
Oh, what did you say?
I don't remember what I said, but I definitely didn't call it progressive. But I just mean like when a song throws you a curveball, I just like that kind of shit, you know, like because every song ain't got to be a verse and a chorus or a verse and a pre-chorus and a chorus and then repeat until you get to the end. You know what I mean? Like I like when it goes all over the place sometimes.
I didn't like it because of the pacing.
Yeah,
it's not that I didn't like the variety of it. I just didn't like the pacing. How it's going and going, and then it's just like, you have this melodic bridge, and you're just like, it just didn't. I don't know.
See, to me, that's dynamics because they bring you down, and then when you go back into the heavy part, it's like fucking slapping you right in the nuts, you know?
But the verse brings you down, and then the chorus kind of kicks it in, and then you kind of gets more raspy in the second verse.
Right.
I was thinking, I was actually going to hit up Tyler. I was going to do a parody of that song.
What, the rumbling?
See if you want to do a screaming part for me.
Yeah, I could do. I mean, you'd have to do all the editing and stuff. Because I don't know how to do any of that shit. But yeah, I could do some takes. I mean, I only have Audacity to record with unless you want to walk me through installing like proper programs. But I'm fucking any voice lines you need, man. I'm down. Just let me know. I'm sure I'm excited to see when they come out 10 years from now.
Right, exactly. Next decade.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I had it was like a great idea, and I'm like, I gotta do work. Then I'd have to put work into it to actually do it. And I was like, But it's really funny though.
So I actually had this idea though. Like, why don't you talk to the guys behind the fan film that you helped out into helping you with the motion comic?
It's on my list, man. I told you I have this list of shit that I am getting done. And I'm still working on that main thing, which I'm getting real close to getting done. And then that's next on my list.
You're working on that what thing?
It's the MAME console system. So basically, it's a USB drive that when you plug it into your computer and you reboot, you have a complete first generation to fifth generation video game system. So every game from 1978 to 1994 is on it. So from
arcade
Pong
games, right? Not consoles.
Yeah, console and arcade.
Oh, okay.
So everything from Pong all the way up to, what was like real popular back right in the early 90s before PlayStation came out. So everything up to PlayStation. There's Dreamcast games on there.
Dreamcast game. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Well, we were just talking about that in the chat. I was saying to Levy about how there's a Fist of the North Star 2D fighting game that's in the same vein as Guilty Gear, made by Arc System Works. It's amazing.
It was a real good fighting game.
It's awesome. It's all in Japanese, but it's still awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's on a.
It's broken. It's an utterly broken fighting game, but
We mean broken.
it's utterly broken. It's ridiculous. The characters are just. Well, I mean, every character is broken, so it's not really broken. So like every character is just
not balanced.
ridiculously overpowered. Yeah,
Right.
No,
it's not balanced,
it's balanced in its imbalance because every character can do ridiculous shit. So it's just like
Just like Fist of North Star. Just like Fist of the North Star. It's just like it.
Fist of the North Star, yeah. So they nailed it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Say that again, Levy.
What's that?
Say that again. Whatever you just said, I missed it.
No, I said it's balanced. It's balanced in its imbalance.
Why? Because the characters can do what?
Ridiculous shit. Like the characters, like every character in that game can just do ridiculous shit, like infinites and
Like
lock you down and
torpedoes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's Fist of the North Star. They absolutely can probably kick torpedoes.
Oh yeah.
Those characters are so ridiculous. They don't have to kick torpedoes.
Torpedoes for $1, please.
No, but
So
like
the
every
console
character in that
system-
game can do infinites. They can do, like, they can just lock you down so you can't move. It's the game's crazy.
The hardware that it's on is called Atomus Wave, and that's basically the same exact hardware as Dreamcast. So it's it has all those games. So like I said, all those games from Atari 2600 all the way up to like Sega 32X or Jaguar. Or, I forget what the 5th gen consoles were back then. Dreamwaves or Dreamcast is probably
3DO?
was like that. I did not get 3DO. No, I have Jaguar.
You're probably better off.
3DO is when you got into when you started getting into CDs like CDI, 3DO.
Yeah.
And like when there was a lot of games, it just takes up too much space, too many gigs. But when you had things like Sega 32 or Sega CD and there weren't that many games made, it kind of makes sense to fit that on the thing. Because I'm at like 700 gigs total with everything. That's like all Nintendo games, all the Super Nintendo games, all the Atari stuff, all the Daphne games, which is all the Laserdisc games like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace and the 10 other ones that you guys never heard of that they had out in Japan. But yeah, once I get done with that, which I said I'm like real close to doing, it's taking me months just to get screenshots and all that stuff. Then I'll get back to the motion comic. That's next on my list. Now that I have a new graphics card, stuff will render out real quick.
There you go.
But
Fuck yeah!
I miss the brother Kyle, me and you chat room that we had, which is like random shit out of nowhere in the middle of
the
the night.
digital detolf.
Yeah, digital detolf.
Yeah.
So
That was going to be our band, man.
Yeah,
digital detolf. That's
The
great.
digital detolf. It was going to be me on vocals, brother Kyle on the acoustic guitar, and Jet on the synth. It's just going to be me screaming. Just some synthy acoustic shit.
yeah.
The album cover
It would've
should have been 3 detolfs without the shelves, and each one of you stuffed into your collective or your individual detolf. Like,
No, it would just be you holding a fucking detolf in that massive mitt of a hand you got.
shit. Well, hey Levy, maybe we should go on to weird news before.
Okay.
I know I just kind of broke down the door and let myself in. If you guys ever want me to leave, you can tell me to go.
No, you can stick around for as long as you want, but we should probably cover the couple of things that we have to cover. That way, when we want to leave, we can.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sense. You don't want to go back to the traditional style of Blackout and Shout where their episodes are 6 hours long.
Sitting here at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning going, dude, I'm quitting. Next week, I'm quitting.
All right. So weird news. So for my first story, this comes from CNBC.com. A man in a wig throws cake at glass protecting Mona Lisa. So a man seemingly disguised as an old woman in a wheelchair threw a piece of cake at the Mona Lisa in the Louvre in Paris, France. And he shouted at people to think of planet Earth.
Man, I don't give a shit. That's gangster as fuck. Man went like full incognito mode, dressed up. Dressed up so that people wouldn't recognize him and just walked up and vandalized shit. That's gangster as fuck.
Fortunately, there was glass protecting the iconic painting.
Yeah, what kind of a cake
that's
was
a
it?
copy, though, right? That's a copy, isn't it? Because the
No,
real
I don't
one's
know.
like stored somewhere, right?
No, I don't know.
If
Well,
Ted
what
has
kind
taught
of
me
cake was
anything-
it?
I thought it was the. I thought
Yeah, what
it
kind of
was
cake
the
was it?
original.
Was it ice cream
What
Uh,
kind of
cake?
a cake was it?
Don't think it says. It says just a piece of cake.
Hmm.
But
Oh.
yeah, so the Paris prosecutor's office said that the 36-year-old man was detained following Sunday's incident, sent to a police psychiatric unit. The man whose identity was unknown was also seen throwing roses in the museum gallery to slack-jawed guests.
That guy was bored.
Sounds
Yeah.
like an anime villain.
Okay, so it was apparently was some sort of white creamy frosting because it left the attack left a conspicuous white creamy smear on the glass, but the famous work by Leonardo da Vinci was undamaged. And security guards were filmed escorting the wig-wearing man away as he called out to the surprised visitors in the gallery, saying, "Think of the Earth. There are people who are destroying the Earth. Think about it. Artists tell you, think of the Earth. That's why I did this." So,
Heavy.
That guy's
That sounds like something the Fecalist would do.
fecalist. Yeah. instead of cake, though, you know.
It would be shit.
Oh my god. This is the origin story of the caked crusader.
Your pun game is strong tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for my
Throwing
second
roses at
story-
people, you could say he rose to the occasion.
That was the friendly laugh, like where it was like, all right, that was nowhere near as funny as the other one, but
I
laugh out
know.
of obligation.
Oh,
I'm
you know
looking
what I
up
found out
assisted
today?
suicide right now.
You know what I found out today that I never knew? You know, like
What's
a
that?
mourning dove, like a mourning dove, right? The bird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never realized it was mourning, like you're in mourning. I always thought like it was
Yeah.
a time of the day, like morning,
Yeah.
evening type of thing. I thought it was like a morning dove.
Jed saw one of those in the afternoon and was thoroughly confused.
Okay, for my second story, this comes from IFL Science and says, "Great day for bumblebees as Californian court rules that they are fish."
I'm listening.
So in what is described as a great day for the state's bees, a Californian court has ruled that they are fish. Now, biologically speaking, bees are not fish, as the justices of California's third District Court of Appeal noted in their ruling. Do not expect a bee movie Finding Nemo crossover anytime soon, says the article. However, the court decided that bumblebees can be classified as an invertebrate, offering them protection under the California Endangered Species Act. The judges, in their summation, state the issue presented here is whether the bumblebee, a terrestrial invertebrate, falls within the definition of fish. Under CESA, endangered species can be birds, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, or fish. Insects, like bees, do not make the cut under this definition. However, the judges interpreted that it was ambiguous whether the legislature intended for the definition of fish to apply only to aquatic species. In fact, they noted the act already applies to a terrestrial mollusk. Fish, as the term is commonly understood in everyday parlance, of course, lives in aquatic environments. As the department and the commission note, however, the technical definition in Section 45 of California's Fish and Game Code includes mollusks, invertebrates, amphibians, and crustaceans, all of which encompass terrestrial and aquatic species. So basically, they were trying to stretch the definition in order to allow bees to be put on the endangered species list.
Why couldn't they just add bees?
Because insects are not part of the accepted creatures under the CESA.
Are they endangered? Are bees endangered?
Oh yeah, bees have been facing serious threat,
Specific bees, like a certain bee,
like honeybees.
And they're endangered?
Yeah, they're facing huge population declines.
Get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. And if they go, that's going to be a huge blow to the ecosystem because they pollinate everything.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a huge blow if they
And
go extinct.
they'll be replaced in the ecosystem by something fucking useless like a stink bug or some other bullshit fucking bug that we got here from some other fucking country came over on some
They'll be
peaches
replaced
and
by
shit.
robots, and it'll be the rise of the waspinators.
Yep.
Beast Wars.
They'll have the fucking wasps will have little fucking drone cameras on them, and they'll be recording our fucking assholes while we sleep.
Or while they're eating, in your case.
Right. Right. Imagine you see the footage and you just see like this big mouth coming at the camera. Like making kissy face. Ooh. Well, what do we have here? He's in the fucking big mitts, like spreading them cheeks and shit. I would be mad. I would be mad if my technique got out there on the internet.
Oh, fuck.
All right, so for my last story, this comes from HuffPost.com. Arby's manager in Washington State peed in milkshake mix.
Oh, man.
So a manager at an Arby's fast food restaurant in Washington State has been accused of urinating into a milkshake mix that might have been served to dozens of people. Police in Vancouver, Oregon, or just across the Columbia River from Portland, Oregon, said they uncovered footage of the 29-year-old man peeing into a bag of milkshake mix as they were executing a search warrant on his phone as part of a child pornography investigation. Big surprise there.
Big surprise.
But was he caught in the child pornography thing?
Yes. The manager made one court appearance last Wednesday on child porn allegations and another on Friday after a new allegation of second-degree assault with sexual motivation. After the police said they found the 16-second urination video.
Okay, so he was just a piece of shit then.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because, I mean, imagine having this video found by, what's the word? Coincidence. Like, you're not that guy, but you're the guy that pisses into milkshakes.
Oh, yeah. Like he ends up not being guilty of child porn possession. Yeah. But he gets caught on
pissing into milkshakes.
Yeah, pissing into milkshakes.
You know, shit like that got to make you wonder how many times you went out to eat. I don't even want to really think about it, but at some point over your lifetime, you ate a booger or ate something that was in your shit that shouldn't have been in your shit, whether or not it was put there on purpose or not, but
I would like to think that if I was drinking a milkshake that had pee in it, that it would taste funny.
No, but even like the slightest hint of something,
maybe even curdled.
I'll tell you this, Levy. Like every day I go down and get my coffee at the Wawa, right? And every day I pick that fucking the creamer out of the little ice thing that they got it in. Mm-hmm. I think to myself, I wonder if I got to this first, or if anybody else out there masturbated and came in here and got coffee and gripped up all the same shit I'm gripping up right now. Mm. And it's hard to believe. It's hard for me to believe that in 45 years being on this planet that I've handled other stuff or went out to eat or whatever, that I did not at some point fucking eat a booger or eat something that I really wish I wouldn't have eaten if I knew that I ate it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You're trying to be glasses half full, but
No, I'm just saying that I would hope that if someone peed in my milkshake, it would taste weird.
Well, but it would be about how much.
Yeah,
are you taking the full pee in there? Because like you take a full pee in there and you'll taste it. But even if you just even if you give it just a little bit of the tiniest little bit of a squirt into the whole milkshake thing to the point where it's not, you can't taste it anymore, but it don't stop the fucking fact that it's in there.
Well, like it's like, the FDA has declared that a certain amount of insect parts in your food is acceptable, right? Well, how much pee is acceptable?
Yeah, 0 pee is acceptable.
I mean, how much pee would the FDA deem acceptable?
I think it would have to be 0, because technically you could transmit diseases through that, right? Because it's a bodily
insects
fluid.
can transmit diseases too.
Yeah, but I don't know how many insects are rolling around with the fucking clap, Levy. Can you imagine taking a sip of the milkshake and getting fucking chlamydia
from a fly?
You gotta explain that to your wife.
Well, see, I swear it was a fly.
Yeah. 1 minute I'm sipping on a triple thick milkshake, and the next minute my fucking dick's dripping. Like, I don't know what happened. Look at me. Do I look like I'm the type to cheat? I can barely get you.
That's my excuse.
Meanwhile, the
You
fly,
know?
meanwhile, the fly is looking back at you, and his dick is also like dripping some stuff.
Oh,
I saw.
he's got the fucking Brendel penis.
help me! Help me! Help me!
I saw some shit on TikTok today, and I don't know if it was true because I didn't have time to like totally dissect it and research it or whatever. But some dude took a chicken nuggets from McDonald's and maybe some fries, but I think maybe just the chicken nuggets. I can't remember, and like took a little bit of it and stuck it under a microscope, and you should have seen all the shit that he found in them chicken nuggets, man. Like just little bits of like stuff that he was unable to identify, but he was pretty sure was not chicken or breading. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what though? A lot of those videos, I don't put a lot of stock in them because there's no controlled environment with that. I mean, they're edited videos. I mean,
right? Yeah, right.
They could easily just be fucking, faking this shit for clicks and views and shit. And
yeah, but wouldn't that be?
I never put stock in that stuff.
Isn't that something that if you did something like that, you couldn't be like sued by the fucking company you're trying to defile?
No, because if it's true. You're talking like they're faking it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the thing is though, like defamation cases are really hard to prove.
Yeah.
Even after Johnny Depp just won one. But you do have to, there's a lot of stuff you have to prove to win a defamation case, and it's.
I mean, to be fair, if someone was slamming, like, say, McDonald's on their McNuggets, saying like, "Wow, there's raccoon feces in the batter" or some shit. A lot of companies, I don't think, like McDonald's, wouldn't take that case because then they'd have to provide the actual ingredients, which could be even worse. You know what I mean?
Real ingredients are worse than raccoon shit.
Raccoon. Yeah. They find out it is actually raccoon cum, not feces. Get it right.
Jesus.
Is that it for weird news, Levy?
Sorry, I'm dying here.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I've still got that cough. So when you make me laugh, I cough up a lung. Yeah, that's it for my weird news.
Toy news. I put two of them in there back to back because they were both from the same franchise. But the first one is Storm Collectibles Liu Kang, and the second one is Storm Collectibles Kintaro.
Yeah, I will say that Kintaro looks a lot better than that Liu Kang.
You don't think the Liu Kang looks good at all?
No. No, I think it looks like crap. I think he's doing the Urkel with his pants. I mean, look how high those pants are riding up, man. I don't know. I'm not digging it, but I didn't dig the Kung Lao either.
The only thing I'm wondering about that Liu Kang is like, you think the dragon's a completely separate figure, or you think this is going to be an expensive?
No, it's included with.
Is it included? No kidding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he's going to be expensive.
Yes, he is. Yeah. The Kintaro looks amazing though.
The Kintaro does look amazing.
I don't know if it's just the pictures and the lighting and everything they got with this, but this thing looks amazing.
Well, I mean, they got it from all kinds of different angles and shit like that, and it looks just as good in every one of them. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the lighting does help, but, Not
going to lie, those ice arms on that Sub-Zero look pretty good, too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty dope.
I see the Liu Kang, and when I go next picture, it just takes me to
Kintaro's the second link that I put in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there he is. Oh, yeah, it's Furry Goro.
Yeah.
See, I never really saw him as furry,
I mean, I don't think furry was a thing back then, though.
Yeah, I think maybe I saw him as furry because he had tiger stripes, and I just imagined him with tiger fur. I guess.
Oh yeah, I don't see him as furry, but I see him definitely trying to emulate
I see what
an animal.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, but I've seen depictions of him where he had like a very fine fur coat on, and I never really pictured him like that.
Weirdest conversation about Kintaro ever.
Walking around like a fucking four-armed craven.
Yeah, he's walking like like George Jefferson and shit.
I love those shoulder pads. He's like one of the Road Warriors. It's like both Road Warriors did the fusion dance.
I'm just happy to see two goddamn Storm Collectible figures coming out from Mortal Kombat. No ninjas. That's nice.
Yeah. Oh my god! Speaking of ninjas, this is like if Shredder and Tigger did the fusion dance. Sorry, I'll stop. Yeah, man, that Kentaro figure does look good. And what's the other one? The Liu Kang.
Yeah.
What was your problem with the Liu Kang?
I just don't like the way it looks in general. It's and like I mean the pants look really funny to me because they look like they're riding up way too high. But I'm just not a big fan of the sculpt either. I don't know.
He kind of looks like Billy Kidman. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like Billy Kidman.
7-year itch.
Kidman, shout out to Eric Levy.
Yeah. Well, Billy Kidman was originally from Allentown.
Yeah. Oh, was he?
The wrestler?
He's local. Yeah, he's local.
Oh, no shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I wasn't thrilled with the previous Kung Lao figure either.
What was Billy Kidman's move? Was it the 7-year itch? Was that Billy Kidman?
The shooting star press, but he called when he was when he went to that emo phase, he called it the 7-year itch, but it was it was the shooting star press.
Dropping that wrestling knowledge.
Yeah.
I was watching interviews with Paul London, who was paired up with Billy Kidman for a while. And I guess Billy Kidman told Paul London that when he does the shooting star press, he can't control it in the air, which I guess is a big no-no in wrestling. And there's some serious injuries that Billy Kidman gave to people from just jumping and hoping for the best off the top.
I actually heard that before. Yeah. I've heard that before about him. Yeah.
Moving along. This next one, I probably won't really give a shit about this one, so we don't have to really talk about it for too long. But I saw this; it was on the Dame Chalk wall, and it said there's details coming. And it's a third-party MicroMaster, which is troublesome. So, and that is, I believe the original character was called Skyhopper, I think. Yeah, Skyhopper. But he didn't turn into a robot. It was just a MicroMaster base that turned into a helicopter. But this is the base that turns into a helicopter, but also turns into a robot, which is kind of interesting. So, I don't know.
I mean, can you really call that a robot?
It's really strange looking. Yeah, he looks like he's really strange looking.
That's Jesus, the proportions on this thing.
Yeah, he's weird looking for sure. But
so why do you say it? Did you say it's troublesome?
Well, because
because you're gonna have to buy it.
MicroMasters, and I'm in all MicroMasters, but I don't know. It actually looks really tiny. It's hard to really tell because there's nothing for a size comparison, but you would think it'd probably be some sort of legend scale, but I don't know. I'll follow with interest. I got this one. This is non-Transformer news, but just something of note if you're into this shit. But this is Ramen Toys. They're showing off some more of Quicksilver. Anybody here besides me a fan of the Silverhawks, or not really?
I watched the show.
Or did you just see them as a discount Thundercats like a lot of people did?
Well, no, I watched it. I enjoyed the show. I'm not, inclined to collect toys of it though. But
I'm definitely getting this thing.
Is this third party or is this officially licensed?
I don't know if it's officially licensed. I mean,
because they're calling him Quicksilver.
They're calling him Quicksilver, yeah.
So,
but Ramen also revealed Mask. They're doing Mask, but they weren't calling it Mask. So I'm not really. I don't know what the deal is. I was actually going to get the Super 7 ones, and then I saw this, and it's like this is more. I don't know. To me, it looks better. It's like a better looking figure.
It's a more mature sculpt.
It's a more mature sculpt. Yeah, it's not as like cartoon accurate as the
Super 7. They kind of go with a much more cartoony look, don't they?
Yeah. Yep. Now the only thing that bothers me about it is that like who the hell knows how much of the cast,
definitely.
How much of the cast they're going to do. Like, Super 7 will drop 4 on you at the same time, so they'll probably rip through the cast pretty quick. But we'll see about this. I don't know. I'm just going to choose to go the Ramen route because I just think that it's a better looking figure.
Plus, it looks like they might have, or this one might have a bit better articulation because I'm looking at the figures here from Super 7. They have like single jointed elbows, whereas this one,
Super 7, they look really nice, but they're not. Their articulation is not one of their strong points.
Yeah, no, this definitely looks like a much better looking figure.
Yeah,
with the sculpt, it's got more detail, and it looks like it's got import figure style joints.
I was gonna say it's like
Almost like a Mafex.
That's
These look
exactly
very
what I was
similar
gonna
to Mafex joints.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's got looks like a double jointed elbow, but like them hips aren't gonna fucking go anywhere, and the knee is a single joint. I like it's got toe articulation, which is cool, but like I really hope for your sake it's got an ankle rocker.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's gonna be doing the fucking Superman pose where he's just standing straight legged.
You think it's a single joint? You think it's a single jointed knee, but there's really nothing that'll tell you one way or the other because you can see the joint in
the picture
back.
of the back there. You can see the joint, right? So like, there's only so much room where that can go. And I mean, it could be like the elbow and the bottom of those knees could disconnect. I just don't see any seam lines where they do.
Right.
The hips definitely look like they pull out though, so to give it more range of motion.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
maybe.
Because you can see the one where he's got his mask on. Where what was the Tallyhawk?
Yeah.
He's got his like arms. That one you can see the hips are like tucked right up into the crotch, like tight. And then the next picture where he's got his arms down and his face mask off, you can see the hips are dropped lower. So it's almost probably like Jed, like the blaster that we just got. The deformation of space, it does the same thing. Like the hips, when he's standing in an A stance, you can tuck the hips up high, but when you got to like manipulate them, you can pull them down, and it gets you a little more articulation.
Yeah.
But
Mafex does the whole drop down hips thing too. Those wrists don't look like it's got a lot of range of motion though.
The wrists,
yeah, it doesn't. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Doesn't look like there's a big gap in there.
I pre-ordered mine, so we'll see what goes on.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's about to come out soon. Oh, speaking of coming out soon. So, Jed, we might finally... There are two things that we were waiting on for, between the two of them, probably about 10 or 11 years. The Fans Toys Trailbreaker is dropping soon, and it looks like Virtus is dropping soon.
Only took them 5 years.
That's not bitterness, I hear, is it, Jed?
No, not at all.
No,
not at all. Not one bit.
I do like the fact that they did the IDW head Springer. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. They'll include that.
The only thing that I did notice that, and of course it could just be because it was omitted, but with all those pictures that they were showing of like the QC of it or whatever, I didn't see any of those minifigures that was going to come with them.
I saw. Yeah, no, he's the
almost human, or mostly human, or whatever the fuck that episode was.
I saw the Springer minifigure.
Which
he's in a really,
did you see that in?
He doesn't look articulated. It looks like a little.
Photos? See, that's the ones I didn't see. Like I saw it before in like X Transbots promo images, right?
Yeah,
but I didn't see.
He's in a weird pose.
Oh, okay.
He's got like that one arm straight out, and then the other. I don't know if I saw it in pictures or if I saw maybe.
Right.
I watched a little 5-minute video.
I didn't see it in this Bombus B pictures that have just come out yesterday. So that's the only thing that I was considering. Maybe they're not going to ship that at all. We'll see.
What the minifigure? No, he's in there. I realize he's not in that Bombus B thing, but the actual video that I saw was like a quick unboxing and.
Oh, there's a video.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he was and it was definitely in there. And the dinner plate looks smaller, didn't it? I thought the dinner plate looked smaller
or clearer, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I got no problem with it being smaller because it'll be easier to put in a bag and shove into a box to never be seen again if it's smaller.
Right.
Damn, it better be good after making everybody wait for so long. Him and fucking Trailbreaker.
It won't be.
It won't.
It'll be a piece of shit, probably.
So, last piece of toy news before we move on to Q&A, and this is there we go. That is the combiner mode of the Kang Toys Razor Claw. And I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it either. You guys like it though.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it already. I think it needs a bit more color breakup for that gold.
Yeah.
It's a lot of gold in one spot.
It's a lot of gold. He's gaudy. Gaudy looking. I got fonts on the brain. He's pretty gaudy.
He's gouty.
He's gouty.
He's got gout.
He's got a little gout running down his left tit.
I don't know, man. I think this looks fucking rad.
Yep.
Because it looks like there's like a lot of translation.
Yeah. Version is that gold wings they're translucent. Yeah. Is it translucent? Transparent? Yeah, translucent. Because they're like frosted, so they're still somewhat see-through, but they have like that gold, inlay, and that's where I think a lot of this stuff is in. What the hell are they calling this one? King Lion.
King Lion, I think.
Lion? Yeah, King Lion.
Like, don't get me wrong, I think it looks cool, but I'm in the Levy camp. Like, I felt like it could have used some black because honestly, to me, it's just it's falling into like Bayformer territory where you're looking at
every single thing that I've seen you write about or post about. You think this is one step away from a Bayformer, so you don't think it's
one step away from a Bayformer.
No,
it's cool.
It's like a Liger. That's what it is. It's a like a fucking Zoid more than anything else.
I also said that the alt mode is the best mode, and I stand by that. I think the alt mode looks fucking awesome, but I think the color makes it look. It falls. When I say falls into Bayformer territory, it's like where you're looking at it and it's like you have no fucking idea what you're looking at. Like, where's the arms? Where's the leg? Like, what am I looking at? There's no, I don't know. It's
so for context,
busy shit going on.
Sure. Sorry, for context though. I mean, to be fair, the post that you shared was just the one picture.
Yeah.
So I looked up the same shock.
I have a post. Yeah. Okay. I found it already.
Yeah, so I'll throw the pictures in here that I have.
I just put
Yeah. So with the arms, it looks a hell of a lot better than just the chunk of the torso, in my opinion. And like, let me preface this with I'm not in on this because it's like I'm pretty well out of the Transformer game at this point. But I think this looks, especially with them fucking wings, dude. Like, this looks good. Rad.
That black background helping out.
Really for sure. But like this thing, like it looks like if Gundam and Transformers had a baby and called it Beast Wars. You know what I mean? Like it's got the Gundam or Zoid like greevily look to it with all the fine details. It's got that nice metallic polish that Gundam's kind of known for. Like the gold to me really, what is the fucking Gundam called? It's like the Bay-8. Hang on a second here. There's a specific Gundam, and it's got that same kind of metallic color to it, and it's really sharp looking. The Hyaku Shiki Gundam. Hang on, I'll put a picture in. But like it looks really, really sharp, and I don't know. I'm really digging this. But this is the picture here. This is what it kind of like, that gold with all the fine details in it. This is what it reminds me of, that Hyaku Shiki Gundam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
maybe I'm just not into pointy robots, because like I look at that Gundam and that shit looks cool as fuck. But like I like
you're like 90-degree and 45 angles only.
Well, no, because he's got rounded. He's got a lot of rounded parts on him. Like he's definitely more humanoid looking than a regular Transformer, but it's very easy to see where the limbs are and like the chest and the head and everything. Like where, I don't know, man, that fucking Razor Claw looked like a porcupine and shit to me.
So I think the reason that is though is because it's a combiner.
Yeah.
So you've got three modes that you have to have. They have to consider. So robot mode and beast mode. Specifically, the beast mode is going for this like Liger Zero aesthetic, right? So the robot mode comes off as spiky and overly detailed, or even Bayformer, as you put it. And then you put all of those same five, or no, this is six, right? This is the one that Robert D goes, monkey punch.
This is 8.
Is it 8 now?
8. If you count the two wolves.
It'll be It'll be fucking 10 by the time the man you watch. No, yeah, it is 10 because aren't those fucking hands two like random
the
fucking
crab
mud bugs or something like that?
The
Mud
hand's
bugs.
9. It's 9. It'd be technically 9 then if you
Mud
count the crab.
A 9-bot combiner. But yeah, this is like, so yeah, it's we'll say 8.5. We'll say 8.5, okay? But it's 8.5 really greebly fucking beast formers that combine into one giant robot. So like a lot of the greeble and the mess that you're like likening to a Bayformer, it's kind of like it's explained in the aesthetic choice of wanting to go for that really. I don't know if I want to say traditional because I don't know shit about Japanese mecha culture, but it's going for what I would assume is like a traditional Japanese mecha culture aesthetic, which is very, very fine details on a really large scale, which does kind of, muddy the silhouette a little bit. But I think this looks sharp as fuck.
Well, the thing. So look at. Wait, I'm gonna put another picture in here.
It's gonna be fucking sharp as shit when you're transforming it too. Your hands are gonna be bleeding by the time you're done.
It is.
Fuck yeah.
Like the Razor Claw. Look at the Razor Claw compared to. There's the Rampage. That was the first one to come out, and then let me put this other one in. I'm gonna put Land Bull in there. Oops. So there we go. Land Bull. Oops. So there's a picture of. So those were the first two that came out, and at that point, I was like, they're stylized as fuck, but they're still. I don't know. To me, that was those two were still like appealing to the eye. And then as they got further into the set, then they went. What I did? What's that?
You're fitting that triangle into your square hole that you wanted to fit. It fit halfway, and you're like, it works. But like when it was transformed, and it looked like something from Horizon Zero Dawn, it was like you're like, well, it still kind of looks like a G1ish thing instead of
Wait, when it's what do you mean when it's transformed into alt mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I even thought the alt modes look cool. Nah, I wasn't. Believe me, dude. Right. When I was totally in, I would have never got the dive bomb. Dive bomb was the third one. I would have never got that one if these two came out, and I didn't think they were fucking cool. And to be honest with you, I didn't even get the Rampage right away. I got the Rampage the second wave or second release or whatever. So I was actually drawn in.
I remember when this came out, I bought like a little mini Levy, what's the character's name from Horizon Zero Dawn? What was her name?
Aloy.
Yeah, that's right. I bought a little mini of her and I put it next to whatever the fuck they called this thing. And I think the first one that came out, and it looked just like that fucking what was that creature that she fought in the beginning? The first game.
Sawtooth?
Yeah, what's it called? A long tooth?
Sawtooth.
Sawtooth, that's it. Minus like the two antennas that were sticking out of his back, but it looked just like it. And I thought it was like, I'm like, wow, this is really close. And if you look at all those mechs that are in that game, you look at that and you go, wow, that's like fucking Zoids, man. That's pretty. I think actually the designer was a Zoids fan. I read some.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
But that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this. I didn't think G1 at all. I thought, oh, this is very
I didn't think
G1.
I didn't think G1 either. Like it's obviously not like
that's
G1.
What I was saying. You were fitting that triangle in that square hole. You're trying to make it fit. And then once the Lion, design came out, and that was very much like a Liger look of a Zoids, thing. It was like you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, it just got a little too far. Yeah, it got a little too far.
Because you're still trying to fit it in that G1 aesthetic with the, that's the stylized look as well. But yeah, from the get-go, I knew this shit was like it was going to be this way. It was going to be like
if I would have saw these two, the Bull and Rampage, and then they would have did like the Ape, because I saw the Ape and I thought the Ape looked fucking cool as hell too. I probably would have got even further.
What's the Ape look like?
The Ape is pretty fucking dope, man. Yeah,
I'm glad we were saying before we were glad how they didn't try to shoehorn in a fucking like a Optimus Optimal or fucking Optimus Primal in it, because it looks fucking evil and badass. This black red motif. You'll love a type.
Oh yeah, he's like black and gold, right? I see it now. Yeah, that's cool.
He kind of reminds me of the Iron Kong.
He looks like fucking Grimlock
from Zoids,
like with the gold chest like that.
They have Mike.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited for you, Jed.
Thanks, man. Levy's getting it too.
No,
I'm super excited for you, Levy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No,
Maybe
yeah, the Zoids
get-
aesthetic really
get-
sold me on it.
Did they
Get
have
fucked, Mike.
Did they have the Thor gorilla or whatever? Did he have a thing where he had his mouth open and he was like with teeth and shit and he was growling, or was it like
He
that
definitely
for
opened his mouth. Yeah, he
Okay.
definitely opened his mouth.
I couldn't remember if I was just fucking imagining that or if that actually was a thing or not.
I don't think it's a replacement face either. I think the mouth actually just opens.
I mean,
There's one with it
color
open.
wise, if you put those three together, color wise, they don't fit at all.
It's the gold. Maybe it's the gold. I don't know.
The gold, black, orange just does. There's nothing
Yeah.
there.
What's that? What are we talking about?
I said if you put the gorilla with the land bull and the other one, they don't look like they're part of a set either.
You know, it's gonna be funny as fuck when this whole thing comes out and you combine it. You need a stand.
Hey, Mike, you got one hanging around, right? Your
Yeah, I got one I'm
Unicron
not
doesn't
using.
need it.
Nah,
He doesn't need it.
Mine's in planet
Oh, man,
mode. He
that's
does
funny.
need it.
That's funny.
So he needs a fucking stand, doesn't he? Cha-ching.
Do you guys got anything to add before we go to Q&A?
I'm wondering if it's gonna be if he's gonna fucking be able to hold that sword up or not. I doubt it. It's gonna be like was it fucking Abominus that had that big ass sword like that too? Or was it the other?
No, that was the other
combiner?
Predacon or Predaking. That was the MMC.
No, not the Predaking. The what was the combiner from all the water monster?
Oh, the Seacons.
Yeah, Seacons.
Yeah, but he was trying to hold up like another member that turned into a gun. That was like a whole fucking. That was just a bad idea to begin with. I think that's why they put them on stands and shit. I mean, I know they had stands in G1, but I think that was meant to be more like a cannon to put on a stand as opposed to trying to actually hold that shit. Fucking shoulder joints that have to be strong as hell.
So I've got something for toy news if you're interested.
What's
When
that?
you finish getting these pictures together. So I've talked to you guys before about this company, Joy Toy. They're the ones that do like those Titanfall figures, right?
Yeah.
So they've actually started, and I don't know how, but they're fucking smart as shit for doing it. They got the license to make official Warhammer stuff, Warhammer
Yeah.
figures.
I saw that.
And like they are fucking money. Like they're nicely detailed, they're nicely painted. I can attest to the quality of Joy Toy figures, but like this is a really solid fucking move for Games Workshop to license out this these are their license to this company to make figures. Cause like it's gonna boost Joy Toy for sure. Cause they're a fucking like they make really good quality figures, but it's also gonna help expand the Warhammer brand because Warhammer is traditionally known for the tabletop miniatures. They've tried to branch out with video games, which have had moderate success. They tried their own streaming service, which is majorly shit upon. But I think this is a really good business move on Warhammer or on Games Workshop's end.
That's badass.
Look at those fucking things, man. And like it started out with just one Space Marine, and then they went to different chapters, and now they're doing like you see there, they're doing the Chaos stuff, but they're also doing like some of the big vehicles and the walkers. I'm trying to grab the picture of the Dreadnought here.
What
And like these are no small figures either. Like this
what
thing
scale
is
are they? What scale do they turn out to be then?
1/18th scale it says.
What
Here's
is
a
that?
couple more pictures. 1/18th, I think they're 3 3/4 inch.
Okay, that makes sense.
Look at how big that walker is in that dude's hands.
Are you gonna get them?
I'm thinking about grabbing a few of them. I'm not gonna go crazy or nothing because like I started a second army not too long ago, which was Space Marines. So like I dropped
Last words.
dumb money on fucking more Warhammer stuff. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick any of this up, but like I definitely admire the hustle and I definitely admire the product. Like, this shit looks good. And like I said, I can attest to the quality. So like, I'm excited to see where this goes for Games Workshop.
There was a meme I saw this morning. I was gonna share it and I forgot because I got busy. But there was a Levy. This was funny. I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was a conversation between like a knight and a dragon, and the knight was like, "Oh my god, look at all this horde! Look at this." And the dragon's like, "Yes, look at the amount of action figures that I've amassed. Isn't it glorious?" He's like, "It's wonderful." And he goes, "Yes." He's like, "Before I used to collect cards." A lot of cards, and they're like, "Oh, cards." He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Gaming cards. It was marvelous as well." He's like, "No gold or anything like that." Psh, not anymore. Didn't Joy Toy do? Didn't they get the Aliens license too? Aliens figures, or am I thinking of another company that did 3 3/4?
I don't know. Hang on,
Didn't they have like the? Didn't they have the the ATV?
Yeah, they
ship?
did. They had a xenomorph.
Aliens?
Oh no way.
Didn't they have
No, they didn't.
What was the carrier from Aliens called? Or maybe it was a guess. It was a different company. Yeah, it was like an AT. Years.
This
Anyway,
is the closest thing to their loader that they.
Oh, you're talking about the car? Is it APC?
APC. Thank you. What was the didn't Joy Toy do an APC? Or maybe it was another company.
This looks like it was done in the spirit of Alien, but I don't think they've ever actually done any official licensing of it.
Let me look it up real quick. I know
This is the High
I'm
Play
sorry,
Joy Toy 118th science fiction robot.
it's Hiya Toys, not Joy Toy, that did that. You know Hiya Toys?
I do not.
Yeah, they did that.
Hiya Toys.
They did the 1/18th scale APC armored personnel carrier.
Personnel carrier.
Armored personnel carrier.
Oh yeah. There it is. Fuck man, that's just a solid brick with wheels.
Have you seen the movie
Jesus
Aliens?
Christ, just a slab of metal.
Yeah, it's
I don't remember how many of those movies we made it into that series. I think we were supposed to watch them all. I think we did watch them all.
Did we? I thought you didn't watch them all. Because didn't you want to get the DVDs or something? Or I can't remember. That was so long ago. It was another life.
Was another life.
Did you have any
Yeah,
toy
that's
news?
all I got for toy news.
I do not.
Neither do I.
All right, well, and it looks like we get to end early because Levy didn't post no questions.
Yeah, I just remembered that about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, he was
Awesome.
Jed. He was real quick to ask for a cut of the monetization, but you know,
No, let me tell you. This week, my days got all screwed up because of the holiday,
yeah, the
and then
holiday
and us doing it on Thursday, I completely forgot. So my apologies.
Fucking divas, man.
Oh man,
So
well
I'll
that's fine. Look at it.
I expect my check in the mail, Jed.
It's by check. He means bill.
Cut the check.
Checks in the mail.
I owe you. Or you owe me.
All right, well,
Zell me that shit.
all right, well, good. It's 11:30, and we all get to get the
15
fuck out
cents.
of here.
15 cents.
Awesome, Tyler. Thanks for hanging out. Good talking to you again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man! Thanks for having me.
It was unexpected but pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. That's generally how I try and keep most of my meetings. How I met my wife.
Ah.
I got it. Don't worry. You say short but pleasant. Or unexpected. Oh,
No,
it was unexpected.
Unexpected but pleasant.
Yeah.
It was like, oh. It helps when you smell like pizza dough.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I get all the ladies hungry.
Nice.
What did Pat Oswalt say? He's like, don't you want to lay down on this comfy beanbag chair and some hard, muscly guy that feels like Legos?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So, what's the guy that feels
I
like
want
Legos?
all the ham.
I want all the ham.
All the ham.
That's such a funny bit.
Levy, anything in closing?
I want all the ham.
Jed, anything in closing?
The Boys dropped tonight, so if you have a chance, you can
did
watch
they?
that.
Shit.
And I know, Mike, you won't, but it's a good series. You check it out sometime.
No, I will. You were talking about what the fuck were you talking about before? Stranger Things. That's one that I definitely, even though I'm like way far behind, I will eventually catch up on. But The Boys, maybe. I don't know.
We need to start watching Obi-Wan too. We haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, same.
But you won't watch The Boys.
Well, yeah, but I've been watching Star Wars, man. Fucking hardcore. Mandalorian since the Mandalorian.
Yeah, since the Mandalorian. Ooh, the Baby Yoda show.
And enough's enough. We're out.